Welcome to our course of Adobe Lightroom Classic and the basics of it. Okay, so Adobe Lightroom, officially known as Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, is a piece of image organization and image manipulation software developed by Adobe Inc. As part of the Creative Cloud subscription family, it can be used on Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, and tvOS. Lightroom Classic is a desktop-based program for photos stored locally, such as your own external computer hard drive. Lightroom stores your files in the cloud or even your PC, allowing you to seamlessly transition and translate your workspace from laptop to tablet or from like your phone to TV to PC and all of those, and you can use it anywhere you want. And there are a couple of tools and like a vast amount of tools in Adobe Lightroom. But among them, you have to know that there are 7 main modules in Adobe Lightroom, and those have tools according to their category. Okay, so in this lesson, in this course, we are going to learn about the interface of Adobe Lightroom Classic. Sometimes people think that there are a lot of tools, and sometimes they get a feeling that it's complex, but it actually is not. Adobe Lightroom is very beginner friendly and also very flexible, and can be used very easily even when a new user fiddles through the tools in Adobe Lightroom. So in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you about the interface of Adobe Lightroom. Then about the modules of Adobe Lightroom Classic. Just as I told you, we are going to show you about the 7 main modules of Adobe Lightroom, which it has to offer. Then I'm going to show you how the tools work in Adobe Lightroom, and also about the usage of the tools practically. Also, how to edit photos by using Adobe Lightroom Classic, because that is the main purpose of using Adobe Lightroom, and exporting the photo for later purpose. Then, at the end of this course, you will be able to use all of the tools of Adobe Lightroom Classic without facing any problem or hassle. Find the tools where they are located, because there are a lot of tools. If you know the category of the tool, you will be able to find it easily, and I'm going to show you all of the steps how you will be able to locate it and also use it. Make uses of the tools according to your desire. Let's say you want to like fix the shadow, fix the lighting, fix the color. I'm going to show you all of the tools and where you'll be able to find it, and also give you practical, examples too. Edit photos without any problem or error. Okay, sometimes obviously as this is a program, okay, you might face some couple of errors, but I'm going to show you all the tools in such a way so that you might not face any problem. And also, if you face problems, how are you going to like face them and also fix them? I'm going to show you each and every step. Also, make slideshows, photo book, and publish, because that is also a purpose of using Adobe Lightroom, because that is one of the main functionality of Lightroom about organizing your data and also your photos. And also how to edit photos in a professional manner, and also in various purposes, even your career. Okay, so hope to see you in my lessons, and also I hope that if you don't understand a part, please let us know so that I can guide you through the process, as this is like a very beginner friendly lesson and also a course. Obviously, I hope that you understand everything, and also thank you for staying with us. Welcome to a new lesson of Adobe Lightroom. This is the first lesson of Adobe Lightroom, where we are going to know all about Lightroom and also some of the basic features that you're going to learn in Lightroom. Thus, that means knowing about the interface and knowing all about Adobe Lightroom. So first off, when you start using Adobe Lightroom, you will see when you open it up, it will pop up or open an interface like this. And this is all of, all the tools, and all of them are going to appear over here. But if you want a different type of interface where you want to work on, click on View or Windows, and from there, select the type of interface you want to use. Then you will be able to get through. You can see grid style option, then loop option, loop overlay, and all of those. But before that, let's go through each and every lesson, and then later on we will also show you about the tabs. So you might also think that the tabs look a bit like old school and old-fashioned, but it allows you to go through each and every of the tools which you essentially need. so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's start by knowing what Adobe Lightroom is. Adobe Lightroom, officially known as Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, is a piece of image organization and image manipulating software developed by Adobe Inc. As part of the Creative Cloud subscription family, it is supported on Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, and tvOS, such as Apple TV. Now, we will know what Adobe Lightroom is used for. One of the Lightroom's most important feature is image management. Many photographers begin the editing process with Lightroom because it excels at handling large amounts of photos, so you can get more work done more quickly. You can effectively organize, manage, and find photos in library-like catalogs such as this. You can see all of them are over here. Attributes, text. You can organize them however you want. So now you might think that what is the difference between Photoshop and Lightroom? And most of the people will say Photoshop is better. Okay, so we are also going to give you a brief about it. Unlike Photoshop, which caters to a variety of creative discipline, Lightroom is specifically built to effectively handle a professional photographer's workflow from photo management to finishing touches. You can choose between Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop Lightroom according to your desire. Now you might think that which is better, Lightroom or Photoshop? The main difference between Lightroom and Photoshop in comparison is that Lightroom is faster and better suited for a photographer's workflow when compared to Workshop, which is superior for finer and quicker image editing than Lightroom. Okay, so why are you going to use Photoshop Lightroom? The advantages of using Lightroom is that the develop module where you edit your images is organized in a linear way, so you can simply work your way down to the different adjustments, tweaking your photos to get the look you want. Photoshop doesn't have a specific linear process since it can be used for all different kind of works. So is Lightroom good for photos? Obviously. Adobe Lightroom is the best photography workflow tool for serious enthusiasts. It's slick and nimble and comes with nearly all the same photo editing tools found in software for professionals. So now we know that Adobe Lightroom or Adobe Photoshop Lightroom is easy to use. It works just like your phone editing apps, so it shouldn't be challenging to master. Thus, it means it is flexible. So let's start by knowing all the interface in Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. Let's start off by knowing all of the different sections in Adobe Lightroom. So in this lesson, I'm only going to show you about the interface. So you can see that there are a couple of these interfaces, tabs, ribbons, and all of those. And you can get through each and every one of them without getting into hassle. Because just as I told you, Adobe Lightroom is very easy to handle and beginner friendly. So let's start off with the navigator. If you have photos over here, you will see the photos will appear over here and also over here. Okay? And then you can go through each and every of the photos you might want to use. Well, another thing that keeps questioning, okay, is that can you edit videos in Photoshop? Well, you cannot edit it like a professional video editing software such as Adobe Premiere Pro, but you will be able to trim it and cut it and adjust it according to your need and do all the stuffs in Adobe Lightroom only. But if you want to do it more complex till the finishing touches, then Adobe Lightroom is not for video editing. Okay, so just as I told you that you can do all of the stuffs about photos, and as it is a photo manipulating software, you can do all the stuffs about image management, organizing, and giving it slight tweaks. Okay, so let's start off with the navigator. As we're done with it, now let's go to catalog. In catalog, you will see a couple of these options will appear up. If you want to see all the photos in your PC, just click on all photos, then all the photos will appear over here. Then if you want all synced in photographs, just click on all synced in photographs. That's very simple, right? Then we have is quick collection. If you have a different type of collection of photos, let's say you have a ton of fruit photos and then you have a ton of vegetable photos, then you can like keep them in a collection and then select according to your need. So this is also quite similar to highlighting your file or highlighting your photos. Okay, now you know how you can use this catalog. Then we have is previously import. Well, if you previously used Adobe Lightroom and imported a couple of photos from your PC or online, then all the previously imported photos in Adobe Lightroom will appear over here. Now you know all about the catalog. As we're done, I'm going to reduce the size so I can go to folders. In folders, click on filter folders, and when you can do it, like let's say you have a folder of photos, but you want to filter all of the photos or filter the file. If you want to do that, what you're going to do is type the name which you want to save it as. Okay, it's also similar to highlighting your file so that you can easily find it. So now you know all about the folders too. Right beside it, you can also see that there is a create new file or create new folder option. If you click on it, you will be able to add in a folder, then root folder display, folder name only, path from volume, folder and path, and show photos and subfolders. Okay, you can do whichever one you want according to your need. Let's say for the first one, I'm gonna type in LRT, hit on enter, and then if I add in photos, that those photos will appear up in this folder because I filtered that folder. Okay, then we have is collection. You can use smart collections such as this. You can increase the size, then you will see a couple of these options will appear over here, such as recently modified 5 stars colored red. Now I'm going to give you a brief about them too. Filtered connection is, or filtered collection is a type of attribute or a type of filtering method Adobe Photoshop Lightroom is going to use. Let's say you are going to rate a photo to be 5 star, 4 star, 1 star. Okay, it's going to be 1 to 5 stars. Okay, then you can find out those according to your need. Well, I'm going to show you all about the examples later on in this lesson or later on in this course. But for the first lesson, I'm only going to give you all about the interface of how it actually works. And as this is a beginner friendly or a total beginner essential Adobe Lightroom Classic course, then I'm obviously going to show you all about the interfaces and how you will work on it. Okay, then we have a smart collection. Colored red, 5 star, past month, recently modified, video file without keywords. So first one we have is colored red. There are a couple of colors you can also put. So let's say you filtered a photo to be red, okay? Not like filtering or changing the effect to be red, but filtering the photo to be red to categorize that data or categorize that photo, okay? Then let's say if you categorize that photo to be red, then you can find it on color red. If you categorize it to be 5 stars, then you will find the 5 stars photos over here. Then the past month or the imported photos or the imported filtered photos from the past month will appear over here. Recently modified photos will appear over here. Video files will appear over here. And the photos or videos without keywords are going to appear over here. Then we have, as we're done with collection, it's going to be publishing service. So if you want to publish your work or your project or photo or video anywhere you want, let's say you want to publish your service in hard disk. Okay, most of the people do that, but there are a couple of people who want to publish it on Adobe Stock, Flickr, and if they want more, they click on Find More Service Online, and then they do this, that this interface will open up in your web browser, and you will see a couple of methods of how you can publish your work, as you can see right now. You have beauty, retouching, splendid, iconic, and all of those. You can go through each and every one of them on how you'll be able to publish them. Well, as you can see an example that they also have published their work and people are actually buying it from their websites. Okay, so that is very simple. If you want to publish it and also want to sell it at the same time, then you can use more publish option and then you'll be able to publish them according to your desire or according to your need. So now on the left side, we are done with all of these catalogs. There is also a plus sign and also a minus sign. Okay, you can delete your collection and then add in your collection according to your need.
Then we also have the same information or same tool of import and export. If you want to import your photos from wherever you want, click on import photos, and if you want to export it, then click on export photos. Then let's go to the library filters. Well, all of the photos are going to appear over here, and you can use metadata, attributes, and text over here and categorize your photos or videos according to your need. Okay? So first off, it's going to be text. So if you have text in your PC or text in your folders or text in your, pictures or videos, then you can use this text option. Then you will find all the photos or videos with text attributes given to it. Then we have its actual attributes. Here is what the filter is all about. Okay, you can set up any category or set up any attributes to your picture or your video, and that will be directly applied to your picture or your video. That is very simple, right? We have flags, edits, and ratings. Just as I told you about rating it to be 1 to 5, then you can select the photo, whichever one you want, and then select the stars, and then you can rate them. And then we also talked about the coloring red. We told you that we have different colors. Then you can see that there's red, yellow, then we have white, black, gray, blue, and then more sky blue, green, yellow. After you're done with, filtering your data, then you can find it on collection or maybe your folders. Wherever you want, you just name it and then you will be able to find it. That is very simple, right? Now let's go to metadata. All about the photo, let's say the details such as which camera is it used, the aperture of the photo, then the radius, then about the wavelength, then all the dates, labels, lens used. All of the information is going to appear over here on metadata. Okay, well, let me give you a short brief about what metadata is. So metadata is a set of data that provides information about other data. Metadata contextualizes other data, providing information such as when and how it was gathered, okay, which makes the data easier to find, understand, use, and manage. So as Adobe Lightroom is a photo manipulating software and a really good software for photographers to organize them and give it final touches or tweaks, okay, so metadata is very important. They can select whichever photo was selected on or clicked on a specific lens, then on a specific camera, specific date, or specific label. Okay, so Adobe Lightroom has all of the information and all of the tools to categorize that data for you and organize it for you very simply. Now let's go to none. If you click on none, you will see nothing will appear over here and all of your photos will directly be visible over here. So you don't have to worry about much in Adobe Lightroom and take much hassle on organizing your data, because organizing your data in Adobe Lightroom is very simple and not that challenging. So you don't have to worry about it. Then we also have this option of filter off and on, camera info, default columns, and all of those. Select the ones which you actually need, and then you will find out your photos according to your selected items or selected options. Now let's go to the tabs over here are also ribbons. We have library, develop, the map, book, then slideshow, print, and web. So let's start off with the library, okay? Or we can also use this for a later purpose, such as showing you the develop, the develop tool or the develop ribbon in the next lesson. So you will be able to get all of what I'm saying in this lesson. So let's start off with the library. In the library, you will find a couple of tools on the right side, such as histogram, quick develop, keywording, key list, and metadata. And later we have comments, and then we also have the same options of rating your content or rating your photos and videos. And then at the bottom is this section where you can edit in your data, and also if you want to see more of these options, you can hide it and edit your photos or videos more simply. Let's say you have a ton of photos over here, then you can edit it or organize it according to your desire. Then we also have double panel. If you want to go to the second panel, just go to second panel. If you don't want to use the second panel, just click on it again and it will disappear. Then we have is categorizing according to squares, then left and right, then the collection, then the photos. Then we also have grid view, then we have loop view, which is already on. Then we have XY, compare X and Y. Then we have a survey view. You can also turn it on by N, clicking on N, which is a shortcut key. Then we have is people. Well, I'm also going to show you all of the examples of all of the tools. So I'm going to skip all the examples right now so that I can show it to you with examples later on in this course. Okay, then we have is painter. If you want to paint your photo or video, you can use this tool. Then we have is sort direction, which is also a type of filtering your data. You can sort it from A to Z or 1 to, increasing or decreasing according to your desire. You can see it according to your desire, Z to A, and everything will be done by Adobe Lightroom. Then we also have capture time. You can also select whichever one you want according to your desire, and then you will find out that the specific type of files which you are searching for will appear over here. So we are done with all the interface on the left side and at the bottom. Now let's go to histogram. Well, the wavelength of each and every photos and videos is going to appear over here. Okay, you can use curves to change the values and change the histogram of it. But in just short brief, the wavelength of the photo will appear over in histogram. So we are done with histogram. Then we have is quick develop. In the quick develop tool, there are a couple of these tools which you can use, such as saved preset, white balance, tone control of exposure, clarity, and vibrance. And if you don't want any of those, you want to go back to the default self, you also have the reset option over here. Well, it's grayed out right now, but I'm also going to show you each and every of the features later on in this course. Then we have is keywording. In the keywording tool, there is a way of how you can keyword your list of data or your data which you have, such as your photo and your videos. If you want to add in keywords, just click on this option and this option will appear up. Then you can keyword any of the file you want to use. Then we also have keyword suggestion and keyword set. You can use whichever keyword you want to use and that will appear over here. And if you want online suggestions which you want to use or which you used previously, then it's going to appear over here. So we are done with keywording too. Then we have is keyword listing. If you want to filter your keywords into a list, then you have this option of keyword list. Now we have is metadata. You can select on the metadata whichever one you want about all about the photo or video and then select it according to your desire. Okay, so we are done with this too. And lastly, we have comment. Let's say you want to add in something according to your perspective, so a comment is needed. So you can use this option of comments so that when you pass it to the other person or the person who is going to view it gets the comment and gets the message. So you can add in comments to in a specific photo or a video. So we are done with the library tab and about a small brief about Adobe Lightroom. Okay, so we are done with this lesson, and in the next lesson I'm going to show you about the develop tab in Adobe Lightroom. So hope you understood everything in this lesson, and thank you for watching this video. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the Develop ribbon in Adobe Lightroom and what tools it has to offer in Lightroom. Okay, so first off, we are going to know about what the Develop module has to offer and what is its function. The Develop module in Lightroom Classic lets you adjust the color and tonal scale of your photos, as well as crop photos, remove red eye, and make other correction. All of the adjustments you make in Lightroom Classic are non-destructive. Okay? And how are you going to use the Develop module? Obviously, when you open up the Develop module in Lightroom, such as opening up Lightroom, and you will see right beside Library is the Develop module or Develop tab, or also known as Develop ribbon. Okay? So you don't have to worry that much, but sometimes the Develop module or the Develop ribbon is sometimes disabled. Okay, so you can enable it by subscription if it's not active. Okay, so you have to keep your subscription to be active. And another thing is that when you use Lightroom Classic First off, you're gonna get like 7-day free trial. Then you can like subscribe to it or get some plans. But I'm going to suggest you to, like, if you want to use it for free, then you can use it for free, okay? But like that's for a temporary time, okay, for a short time. Then you have to get those subscription to use all the functions in Adobe Lightroom. And obviously try using the latest version of Adobe Lightroom. Okay, so whether or like verify whether the subscription is active or not. So sometimes the develop module gets disabled. If your Lightroom Classic trial has expired or your subscription is not active, only then the develop module will not be visible and cannot be used. So as I already have my subscription turned on, then obviously you can see that my develop module is turned on. Okay, so first off, in this lesson, I'm also going to show you about how you will be able to export or import your photo. Let's say first off, start off with importing your photo and do all of the things the develop module or the develop ribbon has to offer. So first off, let's know about the tools and develop module. So the first tool, what we're going to know about is the histogram. So this is the same thing which we found in library. It allows you to see the wavelength of light in a specific photo or a specific video. So you can like edit in your wavelength of your photo or your video in Lightroom through this histogram tab or the histogram tool. Okay, then we have is crop. If you want to crop your photo, you can like select on it and then crop your photo according to your desire. Then we also have this tool called spot removal. Well, as this lesson is about knowing all the tools, so I'm not going to show you an example, but later on in this course, I'm going to show you each and every use of these tools and how you'll be able to use them. Okay, and then we have is red eye correction. If your photo or the person in the photo has a red eye, then you want to fix it. Obviously, this tool is very essential. Okay, then you can use this tool to fix that. Then we have at last is the masking tool. Okay, so the masking tool is like very essential. I'm going to give you a brief about it. The masking tool allows Lightroom user to select certain section of an image and make adjustments to the part only. A so-called local adjustment using masking, you can apply color and tonal adjustment to specific parts or zone of an image. So how are you going to use that? Just as I told you, you can just go to developer tab or developer module and then select on this tool or press the shortcut key for shift and W and you'll be able to mask your photo according to your desire. So that is like very simple. What you have to do is just tap and drag in areas like very simply and the colors in the photo, and then it will be specifically adjusted according to your photo which you are going to use. So that is like very simple. And another thing you have to keep in mind that how are you going to get the masking tool in Lightroom. Obviously, if you don't have the developer module turned on or do not have your subscription on, you will not be able to use it on free. So you have to keep that open. So what you have to do is just open up a photo and in the edit section or the developer module, select the masking tool, select the subject, and the tool strips off the developer module. Okay, so that is like very simple about what the masking tool does. And you can see that there are specific, like shortcut keys or assigned shortcut keys to each and every tool except for red eye correction. So you can use each and every one of those options, whichever one you need according to your desire and the work you are going to do, and you will get a specific result after you're done. Then we are done with histogram and those tools. Well, these tools are very essential. Then we have is basic. If you want to like fix out the lighting system of the photo or the video you are using, or making progress or working on it, then this basic tool is going to do like most of the work about the lighting system or fixing about the lights in your specific photo or your video. You can see that there is black and white. If you want to turn your photo or video into black and white, you can select on it. If you want it to be colored or fix the colored part of the photo, then you're going to select color. So it distinguishes between two parts. If you want to fix the black and whites in the photo, then click on black and white. And if you want to fix the colored part of the photo or the video, then select on the colored part. That's like very simple, right? So this is like very simple. Then we have is profile. If you want to fix about a certain profile structure in Adobe Lightroom, then select on this profile and then select the photo or the video you are editing, and then you will be able to fix the profile. Then we have is WB. Well, the WB is like very essential for photo editors and also for photographers. Let me give you a small brief about what the WB does. So the WB is the white balance of a specific photo or a video. Sometimes you will see that in a photo, the light or the white part is like too much. So the exposure gets like too much, and sometimes it's, hard to distinguish or get a specific result or a specific detail in a photo. So then what you have to do is fix out the WB or white balance in a specific photo so you can adjust it according to your need and get the full potential or the full details of a specific photo. Then you can fix the temperature and then the tint too. Okay, then you can see that there are a couple of these options or sliders which you can use in Adobe Lightroom, Developer Module, and Basic tab or Basic tool. Okay, you will see that there are tone and there is also auto. You can see that there is exposure. If you want to fix exposure, then you can slide on this tool and then get a specific result according to your desire. Then we also have contrast, highlights, shadow, whites, blacks. Okay, you can adjust specific adjustment or specific areas in a specific photo, such as if you want to like fix the highlights, you can fix the highlights. If you want to fix the shadows, you can fix the shadows. If you want to fix the blacks or whites, then you can also do that. Well, blacks and whites refers to the black parts and the white parts accordingly. Okay, then we have its presence. If you want to fix the texture, clarity, and dehaze your photo, you can use these sliders, which also the basic tab or the basic tool category has. Then at last we have is the vibrance and saturation. Well, as this is just a lesson about knowing the tools and developer module, then I'm not going to show you all about it. And later on in this course, I'm going to give you all about the difference about this and also show you with specific examples. Then we are done with the basics too. Then is the tone curve. If you want to fix the curve, well, the curve is like very essential for a photographer and an editor. Curve, simply referred to as curves by most photographers, is a powerful tool in Lightroom that can affect an image's overall brightness and contrast. By adjusting the tone curve, you can make your photo brightness like brighter or darker and affect the contrast level. And also sometimes you can fix the RGB, which you can see over here. You can see that there is this brush. Then we have specific colors. If you want to fix the whites, select on the whites. If you want to fix the red, you can fix like the red, then the green, then the blue. Well, both of them like RGB. Okay, like all of them referred to as RGB. Then you can fix the highlights, lights, darks, and shadows over from here too. Well, this is all about the tone curve, but if you want like specific lighting problems and fix them, go through basics and do those options or use those options. Then we have this HSL color, okay, which is hue, saturation, and luminance. Hue is the color temperature or the colored part or fixes the color of a specific photo. You can also manipulate different colors of a photo by using the hue tool. You can see that there are a couple of these options in the hue tool. This is red, orange, yellow, green, aqua, blue, purple, magenta, then the saturation, luminance. You can do specific adjustment on specific colors and also specific adjustments of specific categories. Then we have a saturation. Then we also have luminance. Okay, well, all of them are over on hue. You can get through them, each and every one of them. So this is like very simple. Okay, you can like get through all, or you can also use specific ones according to your desire, so you can get through them easily. Then we have is color grading. Well, color grading is like one of the most important thing in this modern age. If your photo or your video doesn't have color grading, okay, then the photo or video is not going to pop up are not going to make the photo or video to look better. Okay, so obviously when you click a photo, it's not going to be that colorful, or like it's not going to have that much effect to attract like the viewers. Okay, so obviously the color grading is like very helpful, and also going to show you about it later on in this course. If you want to fix the details, go through the details and you will find these options too, such as sharpening and noise reduction, and you will get your specific result after giving your specific adjustments. Then we have is lens correction. If you have specific problems on your lens or fix out the lens problems such as lens flare, lens clearance, and all of those, you can like do those from here and get a specific result and make it look a bit more professional than what you just clicked. Okay, then we have is transform. You can transform your photo into something else, such as vertical, horizontal, rotate, like aspect, X and Y offset, and all of those. Okay, then we have is off, autofill level, vertical, and all of those. You can go through them each and every one step by step. So you just have to toggle through each and every one of them. And even if you like don't understand, obviously we are here to guide you through the process. Then we have is effect. If you want to fix the effect of a photo, such as post crop vignetting, which means the darkening side of a photo or the radial structure which is outside of the photo and it's getting dark, then you can fix the vignetting of the photo by going through effects. Okay, you can also fix the grains through this effects option. Then at last we have is calibrating. Well, this is also a very powerful tool. If you want to calibrate the light and the wavelength and the color adjustment, lights, and all of those, you can go through these options such as shadows, red primary, green primary, blue primary. You can like select and manipulate any of the colors and fix up and adjust and organize your data or your photo according to your need. Okay, then we have is previous and reset. If you applied something from each of these options or one of these options, then we have is previous. So it's gonna it's a lot similar like previous, or lets you see what you did a while ago, or how it was a while ago, so you can compare it and then do the undo process. Okay, then we also have this reset option. If you edited all of the things in your photo but you don't want any of it and you want to go back to the default self, just click on reset and it will get back to its default self. So now you know all of the tools about the develop module has to offer. And obviously it's gonna go through each and every one of these options too, and obviously this interface too. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on developer module, and thank you for watching this video and staying with us. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you about the rest of these modules or ribbons which Microsoft or Adobe Lightroom Photoshop has to offer. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the map and book module, and if we can go to the slideshow module too. But I'm keeping it in such a way so that you understand about all of the module and how those actually work and what tools it has to offer and about their functionality. Okay, so let's start off with the map module and Adobe Lightroom. Okay, so first off, we have to know about the map module. The map module lets you see where your photos were captured on a Google map. It uses GPS coordinates embedded in your photos metadata to plot the photos on the map. Most mobile phone like cameras, including iPhones, record GPS coordinates and metadata. Okay, so you can see where your photo was located or where your photo was taken, and also your videos. Okay, so that is what all about the map, the map like module has to offer, or the functionality of it. You can like zoom in and zoom out and see where it was taken if you have a photo, and if you like want to tag it and see it later on or find it out specifically later on so you can keep it to be highlighted, then you can use this map module and also keep them or like use any of these tools so you can get them. Then we have is this unselected photo, selected photo, group of photos, same location, cluster or nearby photos, and search result. Well, all of them has their different functions. Okay, so you have to get through them one by one so that you can get all of the functionality or what Adobe Lightroom has to offer. First things first, you have to get a photo. Okay, or click a photo somewhere, and then it's going to show you about the metadata of where it was located. Then you can select or change the location, or get to see it or see clusters of nearby photos and all of those. Okay, even if you click the photo to be somewhere around that area, you're gonna see them and specifically determine or edit or work on those photos. Then the map module is just perfect for you. Okay, so let me give you a short brief of what the map module does. Is that the map module provides different views such as road, aerial, and street side that user can select to view map location. They will also allow for interaction such as zooming and using the user's location. Okay, you will also find the same option in Lightroom like phone. Okay, so how will you use the map module in Lightroom? Okay, once your photos have been imported in your Lightroom, and placed on the map, you are able to view the details. Hovering over a folder on a map will show the images and that have the GPS coordinates in that same spot. Okay, so let's say you took a photo or a video in USA, LAX, or wherever. It's going to show you that, that place. And then you can also get different views from different angles, such as or like locations and all of those. And if you want to publish it, you can also publish it. Okay, and it will work through Google Map. Okay, so you have to keep that thing in mind. Okay, so now we are done with the map module and how it actually works, because it doesn't have that much tools. It's just one tool of how you can get those details of metadata and the location in Google Map. Now let's go to the book section or the book module in Adobe Lightroom, and what functionality does it have to offer. So the Adobe Lightroom book module is a super user-friendly feature you can use to create photo books quickly in Lightroom. After you create your photo book, you can export it to the web to print it through photo books printers like Blurb, or download the PDF to print it on your own through your printer, okay, or wherever you want, such as studios and all of those. Okay, so that is like very simple, and I hope you got like everything about it. So let's go through some of the tools the book section has to offer. There are a couple of these tools which you can see over here. So let's start off with the first one. As we already know that it helps you to print your photo in a photo book, okay? So that is why it's named to be book. And as this is a photo manipulating software, obviously photo book, okay? So first off is the book section. So the blurb photo book. So you can make the blurb photo book, which is offered in Adobe Lightroom. So the blurb photo book is a custom photo book. Blurb photo book writes easy to use feature allow anyone to use and make any kind of print book, magazine, or ebook. Okay, simply design up to download this free tool, Bookmate with Adobe. For design experts, we've got a free plugin which is offered by Lightroom, and you can also get it through this video, okay, so that it will work right within Adobe InDesign or Adobe Lightroom. Now another thing comes in mind, that is it good? Well, Blurb focuses more on creating professional books for publication. So unless you are a professional photographer or want to sell your books, this isn't a great service to use. So you have to be like professional at it so that you can sell it or publish it, okay? So if you use the online photo book editor, you can change the background colors and layout of the pages, and then you will be able to make a blurb photo book. Okay, so a blurb is a short promotional piece accompanying a piece of creative work, such as your work or such as your photo or your video. It may be written by the author or publisher or quote praise from others. Okay, so where are the blurb photo books printed? Blurb authors, or like authors, have created millions of books using the full suite of free book making tools, and today a new book is created every minute. Blurb is based in San Francisco with offices in London. Okay, so last thing which you have to know, that the Blurb has a premium lust paper, which is the best and is the best choice for any project that includes a lot of full color images like photography books and cookbooks. The gloss coating on the paper thing, or the paper type, gives your book's images sharper and brighter colors. Okay, so as we're done knowing about the Blurb photo book in Adobe Lightroom, so let's just go to the tools. Then what it has to offer is that you can select whichever type of format you want. If you want Blurb photo book, you can use Blurb photo book. If you want Blurb magazine or want to make a magazine, then select on Blurb magazine. Then we have is trade book, or like trade book. Then we have is like PDF, JPEG. If you want to like export it as a photo, then select on JPEG. But if you want a PDF or a Blurb photo book, select it according to your desire. And after you're done, you can select the size, then the cover, paper type, and logo page. Okay, if you want your logo page, click it on and it will be on. If you want the paper type, select on it and select the paper type according to your desire. Then we have the cover. If you want to have cover on the wrap, then you can use that like using hardcover, image wrap, hardcover dust jacket, and then soft cover. Okay, then at last we have is the size. You can use whichever size you want according to the work or according to the photo you are going to make or the book you're going to make. Okay, so as we're done with the book settings and the book module and Adobe Lightroom, let's go to the auto layout. If you don't want to like do it manually, you can just use this auto layout and it will do all of it for you. And if you want to clear the layout, just click on clear layout and all of it will be cleared. Okay, then we have this page. Well, it is a lot like printing section. Okay, you can select the location, display, and all of those, and you can also add in pages, add blanks. Let's say you want an interval between photos, so you can use blanks in between so that people can like take a skip and then see more pages in your book. Okay, then we have is grid snap. If you want to like fix up your grid style or your grid view, you can also do that. Let's say you want page bleed, then you can do that. If you want text safe area, you can also select that. So when you're selecting it, it will be directly applied to your project or directly to your book. But if you don't want specific ones, just unmark them and that will be done. Okay, now you can see that this is like also giving me a preview. Let's say photo cells, it is giving me photo cells. Okay, I'm clicking on it and it gave me the photo cell. If you want filler text, it will give you filler text. If you want page grid, and it will give you page grid. I'm gonna select on this now and you can see it has given me the grid of it. Okay, then we have is guidelines. If you want guidelines too, you can also apply that and you will see guidelines will be directly applied to your photo book. Okay, and if you want to change the the ratio of the photo, you can just go through them and select whichever one you want and that will be directly applied. You can like select on change size and layout and you will see it will take a bit of time and then it will be directly applied and you will also get a preview of how it actually looks like. Okay, so we are also done with the guides. Then we have a cell. So if you want to do like specific arrangement on the cells of a photo book, then this tool is just for you. If you want to fix the amount of the padding, then you can do that. You can also increase it and you can see that the left, right, top, and bottom you can like select or adjust on different angles and different sides. Okay, then at the end we also have photo text, then also we have the page text, then the text style preset. Well, let's go to the text first. So you can like adjust it according to your need on the text ones. Okay, but if you want your page structure, just select on page structure. If you want guides, you can use guide structure and all of those will appear over here. Okay, so we are also done with the book settings. Then we are also done with auto layout. We are also done with pages. Then we also have cells, then text, and the type. So if you want to like adjust the type or fix the type so that you can organize your data well, you can use these options to like fix it. You can change the size, opacity, and all of those. Okay, so you also have a couple of fonts you can use and the sizes of it, such as regular, large, and all of those. I'm going to show you about it later on in this course. Then at last we have is background globally. Okay, you can use it or not use it, that's totally up to you, but I prefer using it so you can like drop your photos in the page and that will be directly applied and you will also get a preview of it. If you want to arrange it more like travel, wedding, type, whichever category you want, you can use background graphics and that will be applied to your photo book. If you want wedding type photo book, then click on wedding. If you want travel type, then you can use travel. Okay, so that's like totally up to you. If you want to select the graphics, you can like add in the graphics. Then if you want opacity, then you can adjust the opacity according to your need. Okay, then at last is the background color. You can change the background color according to your need too. I'm going to click on it and then you have these options. Click on it and then you will be able to change the color of your background page. See, I selected on it and then my photo book or the page of the photo book has changed its colors. Okay, so now we know what the map module and book module and about the tools of this. Okay, so hope you guys like understood everything about this lesson on map and also book. Okay, if you didn't understand a part and you need more reassurance and need more experience, first off, what you have to do is like toggle through each and every of these options, what these does. You can also go through Google and like search for them of how those works. And I'm also giving you like briefs of how those work so you will get a better idea about them. But you can like stay with us and let us know which part you didn't understand, and we will guide you through the process. And if you feel like it's a bit more complicated, please like don't worry to contact us or let us know, and we will guide you through the process and whole of it. Okay, so thank you for staying with us and watching this video. And in the next lesson, I'm going to show you about the slideshow and print module Adobe Lightroom has to offer and about the tools. Welcome to the new lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In the previous lesson, we learned about the map and book module, and now in this lesson, I'm going to show you about the slideshow, print, and web. Okay, so let's start off with the slideshow module first. So the slideshow module has all the tools you need to make a slideshow of the project or of the photos or videos you are editing or you worked on in Adobe Lightroom Classic. Okay, so you will also find these options or tools in the mobile version of Adobe Lightroom 2. Okay, so first off, I'm going to go through each and every of the tools the Lightroom slideshow module has to offer. You have to stay subscribed to your plan and also your subscription, okay, so that you can get all of these tools you can use. So the slideshow module first has the render behind image option or the tool. So the render behind image means the image that you're going to have behind as a background, if you want to render that or not. If you want to render it, then click on render behind image, and then that photo at the background or behind is also going to be rendered, or else it's not going to be rendered, causing a disruption between photos, and then sometimes also might discard it. Okay, so then we have is watermark. If you want to add in watermarks just like you do in Microsoft Word, you can also use watermarks so that you can also like keep up your work, and also has a last chance of your product or your work to get like being stolen. Okay, you can also select from here, you can edit your watermarks, and then that it will open up an interface like this. You're going to select on custom and then add in the name which you're going to use, okay, or whatever you want to type, and then that will be directly applied to the photo which you have in Adobe Lightroom. Then you can also select the photo or the image where you want your watermark to appear. Then you can also select the watermark style. You want it as text or you want it as graphics. Okay, you will get all of the important needs or requirements that you have to get. Okay, what you have to do to get watermark editing. Then you can like do is select the text option. You can select the font, whichever one you need from here. You can go through each and every one, just select on this and then drag up and down, and that font will be applied. Then you can also select the style if you want it to be bold, italic, bold, italic, both. So you can select them according to your desire. Then if you want the alignment to be left, center, or right, you can also select that. You can also select the color of the highlight, or select the color of the specific watermark which you're going to use, and select whichever one you want. And you can see that this color has been selected. I'm going to keep it over here, and then you can select whichever color you want, and then that watermark or that color of watermark will be applied. If you want to add in shadows, you can also select on it or deselect it. If you want to use it, just select on this, keep it marked, and then you can select or adjust the opacity, offset, radius, and also angle. And after you're done, just click on save, and that watermark will be saved. And you can also select or save the preset. So let's say JETG. Okay, JRTG, click on create, and that watermark will be directly applied. You can like select on whichever watermarks you want or whichever preset you want to use, and you'll be able to save like a ton of watermark preset. Now as we're done, let's go to opacity and scale, which is rating star. So rating star is also like very simple, just as I told you on develop and library module. So you can like rate the stars in your photo, or let's say filtering your photo, and then you can select the opacity and also the scale. You can also change it from over here. You can change the color and also each and every one of those. Okay, that is like very simple. Then we have is text overlays. So sometimes the text overlays one another. If you want to fix that or adjust it, select on this text overlays, and then you will be able to change the opacity, font, and also the face. Okay, then as we're done, we're gonna go to the backdrop. So the backdrop option also offers you a lot of tools. Let's say the color wash. If you want to wash out the color from a specific area or specific, word or text, you can also do that. If you want to change the opacity or the angle of it, you can also do that. And also use this slider, or you can also use this knob to fix it according to your desire. Then we have is background image. If you want to use the background image, click on the background image, then the background image will also be rendered or used. But if you don't, then only this part of the photo or the video will be, applied, and you'll be able to use only the one which is over here, but not the whole background. If you want to use it, then click on this background image and that will be applied. You can also adjust the opacity of it according to your desire. Then as we're done with the backdrop, let's go to titles. If you want to use titles as watermarks, or titles so that you can save your metadata or your name, the ownership and all, you can just click on titles and then click on intro screen, which is over here, something like this. You will get a preview too. If you want an intro screen, just click on it and that will be applied. Then you can also add identity plate, okay, so that you don't lose the ownership or has low chance of ownership, which is also something like a watermark. You can use it. You can also use ending screen, which you want to use, and then you can also use add identity plate 2 on the last page, similarly to the first one. So we are also done with the titles. If you want to add in music in your photo or your video, you can also do that. Click on this plus section and that will open up an interface on your PC, and then you will be able to select whichever type of music or which specific music you want to use, and that music will be directly applied to the photo or video you are using. Then we have is playback. You can use playback too to get options or get tools from it, okay, which is very simple. I'm gonna go to overlays or layouts, whichever one you want according to your desire. Okay, I'm gonna go to backdrops and also titles. We are also done with music. Last one is playback. If you wanna see or preview the playback of the slideshow you made, and then all of the tools, you're gonna get it over here, such as the slide length, crossfades, then adjusting them, then syncing the slides according to music. Well, if you want to sync it individually or manually, do not click on it. But if you want to do it on automatic, you can also keep it automatic. But if you want manual, then you can also keep it on manual. Okay, that's going to be totally up to you. You can also select the slide length, the crossfades, and all of those. If you don't want any of those, just click on this option of the fit to music, and that will be directly synced to the photos which you are using in Adobe Lightroom. Then we have is adding balance. If you want to add balance to your photos and your music, then you can use this. Okay, you can fix the video of it, and then at the end just get an exact result of what you want. If you want pan and zoom, you can also do that. So it's kind of like a zoom animation or zoom transition after each slides, or maybe in between slides too. You can also do that. You can keep it to be high or low. If you keep it low, then the effect of it is going to be low. If you select it to be high, then the effect is going to be high. Okay, so just as it says, high and low. Then we have is repeat the slideshow. If you want to repeat the slideshow in a loop, click on this repeat slideshow. But if you want it to be in random order, you can also do that. And then at the end, we have quality. You can select the quality of the slideshow if you want it to be draft, standard, or high. I all the times suggest you to use the standard module or the standard option, because that is going to keep the standard, okay? The standard effect or the standard resolution of each and every of the effect or each and every of the slides, okay? And if you want to keep it to be more high profile, just click on high and it will give you a highly rendered slideshow, which you're gonna get from Adobe Lightroom. As we're done with the slideshow, let's just go to print, okay? So the Lightroom print module can be accessed from the top of the Lightroom window. It's in between web and slideshow, just as you can see from over here, web and slideshow, and between is print. Okay, by checking or clicking on the print module, you'll instantly have access to all of Lightroom's printing option, including image size, color management, and more. In the print module, you will get a couple of these tools too. Okay, we're going to go through each and every one of them one by one. But in the print module, you can see that there is a different section over here, such as preview, template browser, and collection. Let's go from the left side. If you want to preview, you can see it from over here. Then in template browser, you can select whichever template you want to use and Lightroom and get a print of it. Okay, you can use Lightroom templates. You can select on it and select whichever template you want to use, and that will be directly applied. Okay, as we're done, I'm gonna cut it. And if you want user templates, okay, such as your own templates are the ones you use, then click on user templates, and that will be directly applied to the page in Adobe Lightroom. Okay, then what we have over here is the collection, which is also similar to the first one. You can use smart collection or colored red or the filters according to your need or according to the category, and then use it according to your desire. Okay, then first option is going to be layout style. If you want to fix the layout of the printing page in Adobe Lightroom, then select on this layout slide, and then let's say if you want single image, click on single image or contact sheet. If you want picture package or couple of photos, or fix it according to your need, okay, which you can see from over here, page, cells, and you can adjust it according to your need. Okay, whichever one you want, image setting, rulers, grids, and guides, all of them similar to the one we saw in the book and develop option. Everything is going to appear over here, and you can fix it according to your need and according to what you want. Okay, so you can also use custom package and then adjust everything on your own. Okay, which is going to take a bit of time, but that's totally fine, because you will get your own type of result, or the custom type of result you're making. So as we're done with layout style, I'm gonna decrease it so I don't need it anymore. Then we have this image setting. If you want to rotate your picture or add some photo borders, inner strokes, you're going to find it in image settings. You can do it if you want to rotate to fit, or you can deselect it so you can use them according to your need, and you will be able to use these options or these sliders to adjust the photo or adjust the page, which are however you need. Then we have its rulers, grids, and guides. If you want to adjust your rulers, grids, and guides, just as you can see, well, these lines are the rulers, grids, and guides, okay, which is going to help you to get specific cells or specific areas. Okay, you can select it from here. You can select it by inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, or picas, whichever one you want. Select on it, and then if you want grid snaps, you can also do that. Cell, grid. Let's say I'm gonna do grids, and then the grid will snap according to grids, but not on cells. You can see that this is now a bit more shorter. Okay, as we're done, then we have is show guides. You can do the same thing which I showed you a while ago. If you want to show guides of rulers, page break, page grid, image cells, dimension, and all of those, you can select or deselect according to your need. If you select them, that will be applied, and if you deselect them, that will be removed. Okay, now you know how to do it. We're gonna remove it, and then let's go to cells. If you want to fix the cell or the size and adjust it according to your need, you can select on cells and use these tools. And after you're done setting up the resolution or setting up the certain cells or certain pages or certain grid lines, then you can adjust selected cells too. Okay, such as the height and width. If you want a specific cell to be larger or smaller than the other ones, you can also do that, and that will help you to do your work more simple. Okay, then you can also lock to photo aspect ratio. If you want to lock it to photo aspect ratio, it's going to be similar to the lines and the grids, okay, then you can lock the photo aspect ratio. But if you don't want it, then deselect it, and then you will be able to position it according to your desire. Okay, we are also done with cells. The last thing which remains is the page section or the page tool. So all of the page related stuff or the page related tools are going to appear over here, such as page background color, identity plate, which I also shown you a while ago. Then you can add in the plate or the name of the plate, then the color of this, and then the opacity, scales, and all of those. You can use these sliders, and after you're done, you can also use the render, then you also like render on every image. You can also do that. If you want to use like render a background or a behind image for like specific cell, then click on just render behind image. But if you want it to be applied to all of the photos or all of the pages which you have, then click on the bottom one, render on every image, and that will be directly applied. Then you can use watermarking and cut grids or guides too. Okay, so we are also done with this page section, but you can also see that there are these options over here. If you want to cut guides or like watermarking, then you can select whichever one you want according to your desire. Then we have is printing, print job. Okay, the print job is like very simple, which is all like totally related to printing. Then the printing section or settings will appear over here. You can use draft mode printing. You can use like different resolution. Okay, let's say 240 ppi, and you can also increase it or decrease it. Then you can use print sharpening. Okay, you can like keep it standard, high or low. I try keeping it standard, but if I want low or high, I can like do it according to my need. Then you can also select the media type that you might want to use. Okay, I'm gonna click on it again. Click on it, and you will get those options back. And then we have is color management. If you want to select on it, color, you can fix the colors if you need it. Okay, that's like totally up to you. Then you can select the profile, the intent, then the print adjustments. You can fix the brightness and contrast. And after you're done, what you're going to do is just click on print or printer. You can go to printer option, or if you want to like directly print it, just click on print, and then you are done with the print module too. And the last one is going to be a bit complicated. Okay, well, this is not that beginner friendly, but obviously I'm going to show you about the module on how it actually works. Okay, because this is also a bit simple if you actually get it, and if you like work on it for a while, you will get or know how it actually works and what tools it has to offer. So the web module in Lightroom Classic lets you create web photos, galleries, which are websites that feature your photography. In a web gallery, thumbnail versions of image link to larger version of the photo on the same page or on another page. Okay, so what it does is like you can publish it on different pages, online pages, and it will also use an icon such as your thumbnail to the photo, so that it like people when they click it, they can get access to larger photo qualities of it or larger resolution of it. Okay, so first one is going to be from the left side. You also have a preview from over here which you can get, which is on HTML right now. But you can select on template, okay, whichever one you want. If you want charcoal, clean, dark, poppy, well, these are kind of like filters which you can use, okay, which you can see from over here. Okay, you will also get a preview from here, okay. You can select different categories too according to your need. Grid gallery templates, you can also do that. Dark gallery or grid gallery. Then you also have light, then square gallery, and all of them is like totally up to you. If you're done with this section, I'm gonna like decrease the size, and then you have the same option over here just as we did on each and every module. Okay, which is like selecting the filter or selecting the collection. Now let's go to the right side. First we have is the layout style. You can select whichever layout you want. Most of the time I try keeping it to be grid layer or grid gallery, but if you want to use classic gallery, you can also do that too, which is also quite simple. Okay, but I prefer keeping it grid gallery because you will be able to place your content more easily in grid gallery. Okay, if you want square gallery or track gallery according to your need, you can also apply them, okay, and get a specific type of result. As we're done with this, we are going to go to site info. You can like name the site or gallery, title, okay, give it the title, then the author name, then the author URL, then extra infos if you want to add it. Just type in whichever type of content you want to add in or whichever info you want to add in, and after you're done, you're good to go. Then we have the color palette. You can select the background, text, and icon. If you want to change the background, select on this. If you want to change the text, select on this. And if you want to change the icons, color, all of them are actually colors, so you can select on them and change it according to your need. Then we have is the appearance, which is also a bit similar to develop module, but it is all about the web. You can select common settings such as thumbnail size, then the thumbnail loading, then this like show header, floating header according to your need. Then all of them will be directly applied. Okay, Then about the image info, if you want to add in title or caption and you want the viewers to actually see that, then keep it to be marked. But if you don't, just unmark them and you're good to go. Then we have is the output setting. If you want your larger image to have the the percentage of the quality, let's say I want it to be 100% or the best quality I have, then you can also like keep it to be 100, but I prefer keeping it on 90 to 95 so that it doesn't like take a lot of space to upload that photo, or keep that photo in such a way so that it takes a lot of time to load in like certain PCs or devices or such as mobiles and all. Then if you want metadata, you can also keep it copyright only or like keep it all so that it has less chance of you know your photo or the work which you're doing to like get stolen, which I showed you a while ago. Then you can also do the same thing over here, fix the watermarking and also adjust the sharpening. You can also keep it to be high, low, or standard, whichever one you want according to your desire. Then you're good to go. Then at the last we have is upload settings. If you when you want to upload everything, like after you're done with each and every of those tools, just click in subfolder or not no subfolder. You can like change the name of the subfolder to or the full path of it, okay, such as photos, or even if it's videos, select on it. And then after you're done, what you're going to do is upload or export whichever one you want, and then you're good to go. Okay, so I hope you understood everything about this lesson on slideshow, print, and web, because like the 7 module of Lightroom is like very essential. If you don't know how those actually function and which tool is where and how those will increase your ability to like increase your functionality in Adobe Lightroom and your proficiency, well, you have to know about them. Okay, so hope you understood everything again in this lesson and about all of this, the modules and ribbons in Adobe Lightroom. So if you didn't understand a part, please let us know and we will help you through it. And thank you for staying with us again. In the next lessons, I'm going to show you about the tools of how those works. And later on in this course, I'm also going to show you about these ribbons or these tabs and why are they here and which tools they have to offer. So thank you again for watching this video and staying with us. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you one of the most essential method and most essential step which you have to do before starting your work in Adobe Lightroom, or also known as Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. Okay, and you will be able to do the same process or the way of doing it in the same way in different OS such as iOS and then phones, then iPhones, Apple TV, and all of those. Okay, so as I'm on Windows, so first thing what you have to do is let Adobe Lightroom know where you want to import your photo from and what type of photo do you want. Is it JPG, PNG, or DNG, or RAW file? You have to like let Adobe know. So there are a couple of ways of how you will be able to import your photo in Adobe Lightroom. So the first method is going to be on your default screen. So on your default screen at the left side of the bottom, you will see an option of import and export. Well, if you've seen my previous video or the beginning of the lesson, then you have seen that I told you all about the interface of Adobe Lightroom Classic and about the tools where it can be found, and also some briefs. So first thing, if you've seen my videos, you already know where you will be able to find the import option. The import option is over here on the library module and the left at the bottom side. Click on import and then you will see an interface like this will appear up. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to load, but you don't have to worry, it's going to pop up anyway. Then what you're going to do is you have these 4 actions, which are going to be copy as DNG, copy, move, and add. All of them have different functions. So first is going to be copy as DNG. So if you want Adobe Lightroom to travel or like convert a file or convert a format of a photo into DNG, which is easy for Lightroom to get and also to work on it. Okay, so what you can do is take your file or take the pictures of the file and then copy it as DNG, and then Adobe Lightroom will be easily be able to copy and import that directly to Adobe Lightroom. Okay, next is going to be copy. So what you do when you click on copy and then import your photo, what it does is imports your photo or copies the photo. Let's say if you have an external drive such as SSD, HDD, or maybe a pen drive, or maybe a card reader. So when you copy it directly from those drives, it copies the content to Adobe Lightroom directly, but not on your PC. So sometimes what it happens is that the data gets corrupted when the external drive is then took out. So I prefer you do is move, because when you do this action of move and then import your photo in Adobe Lightroom, it directly copies that file and pastes it on your PC and then works on that folder, so that whenever you take out the external drive, the data does not get corrupted or shows some errors. Okay, next is going to be add. Well, adding is a lot more similar to move or like copy. Well, both of them both of them to be distinguished. Okay, so what it's going to be is that when you click on add and then import your photo, it takes your photo and directly adds it to Adobe Lightroom. Okay, and then adds in on your PC too. So first what I'm going to do is click on move, and then what you have to do is select the source. Click on this with your left mouse key and click on other source. You will see an like this interface will appear up, and when this appears up, then what you're going to do is going to be clicking all the folder where it has your photos. So I have my photos on, let's say, documents, and this is where it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to be select the folder. Click on select folder and you will see the photos which you have in that drive or specific folder. You'll that those photos will appear directly in Adobe Lightroom. Then after you're done, you can select the photos which you want to import and also deselect the ones which you don't want to import. Because I want all, you can also select on all photos and all will be selected, and then you will be able to see this option of import and click on it, and you will see that it will be directly applied or directly imported to Adobe Lightroom. It will take a while to import your photos and see its metadata and all of its attributes and text, or what details it have. So when it opens up, you will see that the photos have been directly applied to Adobe Lightroom, and then you can select on it whichever one you want. Just click on it once or click on it twice, and you will see that this will appear up on your screen, and then you will be able to work on it too. Just click on it and you will see it will open up. You can see it has opened up. Now all the photos are here. Okay, now after you're done, you can just go to Navigator, and then you can also see it from directly here, right? And you will see also a preview of it right in the center. Now it is very simple or very easy for you to see it and then work on it, right? Now another method is going to be clicking on file and then clicking on auto import or import photos and videos. You will see sometimes it will show you an error, but the same interface will open up if you give it some time. So what you're going to do is do the same step of clicking on select the source, then click on other sources, select the folder or drive where you have your photos because it needs to know. But sometimes you will see that you have specific photos in a definite file, but it's not importing photos for you. What you have to do is copy the file from your PC and set it in a place where it is easy for Adobe Lightroom to scan the file and then scan the photos where it is, okay? Which is very simple. And as I don't have any photos and other folders or other drives, as I have it on my documents, so I'm going to click on documents, open it up, and as I have my photos over here, just select the folder. But if you select it like this, it's inside the folder, then it's not going to work. So you have to click on it, click on select folder, and you will see all the photos will appear up. Now another thing you have to keep in mind that sometimes it shows that no photos found. Then you have to do is select the other ones which you have. Okay, so I'm gonna do is, first off, you have to remove it, then you'll be able to select or import other photos. And that is how Adobe Lightroom works. It does not allow you to use duplicate or secondary of the same photo. Okay, what you're gonna do is remove them. I'm gonna click on remove photo. I'm going to remove all of them together. I'm going to click on this, right click, and then remove the photo. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Click on File, Import Photos and Videos, and then select the folder where I have my photos. I'm going to click on Source, Other Sources, and then click on where I have my photos. Click on folder. You will see the photos will appear over here. Okay. Sometimes it might show you something like this, but what I'm going to do is click on this and click on Done. What I'm going to do is go back again. Now you can see that it has appeared up. Now I can select the photos which I want. Let's say I'm going to use single ones of them. So I'm going to click on it. What I'm going to do is keep that to be single. And now as it is done, what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on, let's say I'm going to copy those, okay? So I'm going to click on import, and that will be directly imported to Adobe Lightroom Classic. You will see it will take some time, just as I told you a while ago. Now you can see that all of them has been added. So this is the first step of how you will be able to import your photos and start your work in Adobe Lightroom. Because if you don't know how to do that, well, you will not be able to edit in your photos or your videos in Adobe Lightroom. So sometimes I prefer you to use the move, okay, when you are using it directly from an external drive. But if you're not using an external drive, which is a rare case for photographers because they want quicker process or quicker result. So obviously if you are working for importing your files directly from your PC, then I'm going to suggest you to do copy, or if you are using an external drive, then I would suggest you to do move action, okay, to import your photo. So hope you understand or understood everything about this lesson, and I'm going to show you the next method of how you will be able to add in or add in some effects from the library module, which is going to appear over here. Okay, so thank you again for watching this video and also for staying with us. In the previous video, we have learned about importing photos. Now what we're going to do is going to be using a couple of the tools which we have in the library module. So as I told you at the beginning of the course about the histogram, so first off I'm going to do is select a specific photo. And you can see on the histogram there is a bar or chart over here which amplifies the wavelength of the photo or the light of the photo of how it is structured. Okay, now you can see the histogram of specific photos, and all of them you will see that they are different one and one. Okay, so I'm going to do is work on this one, or maybe let's say this one. Okay, I'm going to wait for a while and select on it, and then first what I'm going to do is click on quick develop. Okay, you will see that there is an option called saved preset. So if you have a saved preset on your Lightroom, what you're going to do is going to be clicking on this option, and then you can select whichever preset you want to use as a filter or an effect on the specific picture which you are using. So what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on whichever one I want. Let's say I want this subject, okay, and you will see that it will be directly applied. So that is how you'll be able to use presets in Adobe Lightroom. Next is going to be a very important or essential part for editing a photo in Lightroom is going to be white balance, or also known as WB in short. So if you want to use white balance, click on this option, and then what you're going to do is add shot. If you click on add shot or use it as shot, it's going to take the raw file and then use it directly on Adobe Lightroom, and no changes will be made until you make changes on your own in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm going to do is, let's say if you want it to be auto, you can also keep it to be auto, but if you want it to be raw as it's shot, then you can keep it to be as shot. But if you want custom modification or tweaks, then you can do it or select on custom. Next is going to be tonal control. While tonal control is more important or more effective when you are using a photo with people in it. Okay, so if you want to fix the tone of specific parts or specific people, then you can also do that. So you can see that the tonal control is kept on auto on default, but if you want to change it, you can also click on this option over here, and you will see all of the tools which are found in this tone control will appear up. You can see that when it is on default, there is only 3 of these options or 3 of these tools which you can use. But when you click on this option, you will see a lot more tools will appear up. The first of them is going to be exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blades, clarity, and vibrance. Okay, so first is going to be exposure. Let's try tweaking it a bit. So when you see that I decrease it, you can see the photo is getting darker. Okay, but when I increase it, the photo is getting brighter. And you can see the white part is also increasing. So in the contrast, it does the same. You can see when I decrease it, the photo gets faded, but when I increase it, you will see that it will gradually start to take or build up more details. And that is how this both actually works. Next is going to be the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. If you've seen my previous lessons, you already know about it, but as I'm going to show you examples about it, you can see that when I increase it, you can see that the highlights are now increasing. So that means the white parts are now increasing and are being more vibrant and poppy. So what you're going to do is keep this to be balanced. And if you want to you know, do some changes on the shadows of the photo, just as you can see from these parts, there are a couple of shadows which are visible. Now if you want to increase the details of the shadow, or decrease the details of the shadow, or want it to be darker or lighter, you can use these options to change the way it looks. Okay, if you decrease it, it becomes darker, but if you increase it, the shadow becomes brighter, and then it's more brighter. Then it's going to be blacks and whites. You can increase or decrease the blacks, or the black parts or the white parts in the photo, such as this. You can see that there is a sky, and when I decrease or increase the whites, you can see that there is gradual change of the white parts. Okay, so what you have to do is keep it balanced. Okay, then we have at last is clarity and vibrance. So if you want to increase or decrease the clarity and vibrance, you can use these options. Okay, there is a more better way of doing changing these options or tweaking your photos, but I'm going to show it to you in the next lesson, because it all belongs in this develop module. So I'm going to show it to you from over here. Okay, there is a bit of difference between clarity and vibrance. Okay, so clarity is kind of the pop, this specific subjects or specific areas of the photo to being more vibrant or being more colorful. Okay, which also makes the whole photo look a lot more colorful. But when you do it with vibrance, what it does is selects the whole area and then selects some specific places in your photo, and then makes the photo look more better. Well, let me give you an example. So I'm going to increase the clarity a bit. Okay, you can see the clarity of the photo is changing. If I zoom in, you will see a lot more details are visible, and the color is a lot more vibrant. So I'm going to increase the clarity a bit more. You can see that this is the max of it. So when I decrease it, now I'm going to decrease it. You can see the histogram is also changing as I edit it, and now you can see that this is a lot more smoother. Okay, this is because I decreased the clarity. So I'm going to increase the clarity, and you will see it will strengthen up a bit and look a bit more better. But if I use it on vibrance, so I'm going to decrease the vibrance a bit first. Now you can see the whole photo has turned into a different type of photo, such as using a filter or an effect on a photo. But if I increase it, you will see that the whole photo will now gradually change and become more colorful. Okay, so what clarity does is that selects specific areas in your photo and then changes it gradually. Okay, but vibrance is the total different. Okay, it changes the effect of the photo and changing all parts of the photos. Okay, so if you don't want any of those and you wanted to get it back to its reverted self or default self, just click on reset all, and all of the filters which were applied will then get removed. Okay, just click on reset all and you're good to go. Then we are done with this tone control too, and also white balance. We are done with this quick develop. Then we have is keywording. If you want to add keywording to your photo and make it to be specific about some text, or about the description, then you can use keywording and search up your photo however you want, and it will become a lot more easier. You can select the keyword over here and then type it whichever one you want, and then you can also set keywords. Okay, you can select on it and you can see outdoor photography, like portrait photography, then wedding photography, and all of those, and you can increase or decrease these options too. Okay, that's totally up to you how you want your result. So we are done with this keywording too. Next is going to be keyword list. Then what you're going to do is also similar to this collection option, collection or folder option. If you want to keep it or keep your photos or videos to be categorized, then you can like filter your keywords and give attributes to that photo or that video. Okay, then you will be able to find it more easily. Okay, so next is going to be metadata. Metadata is all about the details of a specific photo or a video. Which camera was it taken from, which lens, then which attributes or whichever details it has, or the date and all of those. Okay, so you can like change it or see like change the name. Then you can also change the folder name if you want to, like select on it, and you will see that sometimes an interface opens up, but not most of the times, because if it's like on a specific folder, it's not going to change. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to be, if you want to name or like change the name of the photo, then you can change it by selecting on this like backspace, which is like similar to like text formatting. And then what you're going to do is like type in whichever name you want, and then you can also see the dimension, capture date, and all of those. And if you want to customize it, there is also an option of it, and then you can like put in whichever type of details you want. And after you're done, what you're going to do is just click on done. Then you are also good to go with metadata. And last of all is going to be comments. If you want to like put in comments or tag comments, so that when you like share it to other person or you want the viewer to see the comment, then you can like type in your comment over here and the viewer will be able to see your comment. Just click on this, okay, and you will be able to apply or add in your comment in Adobe Lightroom or a specific photo. So this is all about the library module and all of the tools and usage of the tools. Okay, so hope you understood everything in this lesson, and thank you for staying with us and watching this video. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In the previous lesson, we learned about the library module and all of the tools usage. Now, what we're going to do is going to be showing you all of the usage of the tools in the develop module. So what you're going to do is, first off, select the photo which you want to edit. So I'm going to select on this photo, double click on it, and then what I'm going to do is just click on this develop module, and you'll be able to add or edit in your photo, which is like very simple. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the histogram, which I also showed in the beginning of the lesson and also the previous lesson. Okay, you can see or like change the wavelength. Okay, so which is going to be done over in this lesson. So first off, I'm going to click on histogram, and you can see the photo histogram has appeared over here, and also about the lights. You can also see the section and also the the charts of it, such as blacks, then shadows, the shadow part and exposure part, then the highlights and the white parts. Okay, well, all of them are different. Now if you want to make slight changes to each and every one of them, what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on these options. First, select on it, and you can like drag it so that you will see some changes over. So I'm going to like increase it or decrease it more, and you can see that there are changes in the photo. Okay, let's say I'm going to do is increase the shadow more so that it's more bright. So I'm going to do is select on this option again, click on this option, and you can see the photo is now a lot more brighter. So I'm going to keep it like this, and you can also select on this and change the photo of how it looks. Okay, you can change it from directly here, but you can also use these options to like increase and decrease it. Select on it and then increase or decrease that option, and you will be able to see a slight change in your photo. Okay, and you will also see about the codes which it helps to construct the photo or the specific place. As you can see, on my R is 22.9, green is 26.5, and blue is 273%. Okay, so all of as the histogram is done, what I'm going to do is keep it like this, and then we have these four tools. First is going to be copy or crop overlay. So first what I'm going to do is, if you want to use the shortcut key, just press on R, but if you don't want to do that, just click on this option, and then you will see that your photo will have grid lines like this. Then what you're going to do is use your pointer of the mouse and click on your left mouse key and drag it to adjust your photo according to your need. Let's say I'm going to keep it like this, and after you're done, what I'm going to do is going to be done. Clicking on done, and you will see that the photo is now cropped. Okay, you can also press on R and do that, but just click on it again and that will be discarded, or that interface will be discarded. Okay, then it's going to be about this tool on spot removal. If you want to remove the spots in let's say Adobe Lightroom or the photos, okay, what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this option first. First off, what you're going to do is going to be zooming in so that you can get a perfect view of it. or perfect view of the spots. So I'm going to click on these options and zoom in a bit more so that I can get a perfect look at it. And then what I'm going to do is click on this option of this tool of removing spots, and you will see brush, clone, and heal. There are three of these options. Okay, so these are the type of brush which you can use. First is going to be clone, and next is going to be heal. Well, I'm going to show you both of the methods and how those actually work. So first I'm going to do is use clone. First off, I'm going to do is reduce the size of my brush by using my scroll key or scroll button on my mouse, and you will see the brush size is changing. Now I'm gonna do is, as it is on clone, what it does is copies an exact place of a photo and then paste it on where you want to, like, let's say mask it up. So I'm gonna do is click on this option, and then it will clone it, and then I can drag it over here. Okay, I'm gonna keep it over here, and you can also drag it where you want to apply that. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep it to be over here and decrease the size a bit more so that I can use it wherever I want. Let's say I'm going to do is keep it over here, and you will see that it will be applied, and you can see that there is a clone. Okay, but if you don't want to use that, there is also a better way, which is heal. Okay, so I'm going to click on this heal option. What I'm going to do is going to be just using the brush, and you will see when it ends the processing, you will see a smoother effect or a smoother texture on where you are healing. Then you're going to do the same process over and over again until you get a perfect result. But if you want to keep it like that, what you're going to do is just click on this option of spot removal again, or press on Q, and you will be discarded from that interface. So as you can see that there is a slight mistake over here. What I'm going to do is click on this option again. I'm going to do is click on this heal, and what I'm going to do is make it to be a bit more better. So I'm going to click on this option, and you will see that it will look a bit more better. Okay, now what I'm going to do is going to be using this option to fix the skin a bit more and heal it a bit more. You will see that it will take some time to heal the skin or heal the place where you want to use. So I'm going to use this option again over here, and then it will be directly healed, and it will take some time. And now as it is done, what I'm going to do is going to be the next option of sizing, feather, and opacity. So if you want to increase the size, you can also increase the size of your brush from here, which you can see now it's a lot more larger. Now you can also use feather. Okay, so I'm going to do is decrease the size a bit more so that it's visible on my screen. Now I'm going to do is click on this option, and if you want it to be a bit feathery, so I'm going to select on this, and you will see the skin is a lot looks a lot more smoother. Okay, as you can see from over here. Now I'm going to do is use the opacity. If you want to increase or decrease the opacity of the effect which you are using by healing the skin or healing whichever part you are doing, so it's going to get more faded if you decrease it, and if you strengthen the effect a bit more, then you have to increase the opacity. Okay, now if you don't want any of those effects to be applied, you can press on reset, or you can just close it so that you can work on something else. Now you can see that it looks a lot more better. Now what I'm going to do is going to be the basic tools. Okay, but before that, I have also a red eye correction and also masking tool. Well, if I want to do that, what I'm going to do is zoom out first, and then I'm going to use the red eye effect. As there are no red eyes in this photo, okay, if you have a red eye photo or a person of the photo, now what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this red eye correction, and then select the eye which is red, and then select on it, and then the eye will be directly fixed. Okay, so if you want to have different eyes, if you want to keep it red or if you want to keep it pet, then you can select on it and then change or make difference on it. Okay, now if you don't want to, just click on reset and you're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on masking options. So I'm going to zoom out a bit. When I zoom out a bit, what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on the subject, or selecting on the area which I want to keep. Okay, which is what masking tool does. I'm going to click on this option, and then what I'm going to do is select on brush. Okay, you can also select specific person too. If you want to do that, just click on masking option, and then you will see an option to be select subject. Then Adobe Lightroom will obviously select the part where it is only seeing to be human. Okay, so you can select the subject, you can select on it, and then it will detect the subject in the photo, and you will see it will be covered or selected in red parts. Okay, or it looks red. Now, as you can see that Adobe Lightroom has masked up the subject in my photo, okay? But as you can see that the masking method was not completely professional or doesn't look that professional. So what you have to do to get, a perfect mask, so what you have to do is what I'm going to do is use a photo which has like, very distinctive color or like very simple color or has like less details on it. So I'm going to do is import another photo from my PC. Okay, what I'm going to do is click on import. Okay, first off I'm going to do is select or go on this section. I'm going to go to library and then clicking on import, and let's say I have my photos over at downloads. I'm going to click on this option of import. As this interface appears up, click on this option, other source, then select on the folder where I have the photo. I'm click on downloads, click on select folder. You will see if it has a photo, it's going to like show up the photo in my PC. So what I'm going to do is select the photo which I need or which one is like more simple. Okay, let's see if I downloaded one of the photo which I'm going to need to show it to you that masking can be perfectly done with those type of photo. So I'm going to like deselect all of them. I'm going to click on all photos and I'm going to select this one. I'm going to click on import. Okay, I'm going to select on it, click on import, and you will be able to see that when I mask on it, it will be detected faster than the photos which have more details. So I'm going to select on this option, double click on it to enlarge the photo and see it. Now I'm going to click on this develop module and then select on the mask tool. I'm going to click on this mask tool, and what I'm going to do is select the subject. It's going to take really less time comparatively to the photos with a lot more details. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a bit more and see how it actually worked. I'm going to zoom in a bit more, and it's working on it. It will take a bit of time and then you will see the actual result. As you can see that in this photo, which is like very simple color and very simple to distinguish, this object or this photo was very easily masked comparatively to the one with a lot more details which I used in the previous one. Okay, so that is how you'll be able to mask it. And then if you want to change or like make any difference on here on the selected selected part, which one is masked, so if you want to see which part it masked, what you're going to do is click on this option and you will see which part is actually masked on, okay, which is this part. Then you can like change every details one by one, and as you have sliders over here, you also have this option of alphabets or numerics. Then you can like select it, like select on it, and then also type in the number which you want to use, and that will be directly applied. But you can also use the slider, which is also like very simple to use. Okay, now I'm gonna do is increase or decrease the texture. If you want to decrease the texture, then you can see what you're gonna do is like drag it to the left, and if you want to like increase it, drag it to the right, and that option or that effect will be done on it. Then you can also do same thing like clarity and dehaze on it. Okay, you can also dehaze it. You can like decrease the exposure, contrast, and all of those highlights. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep the shadows to be a bit darker. And now I'm gonna do is, if you want to change the hue, select on it and you can change the hue of it. You can see that it is getting warmer or brighter, and also at a time it's being more pink. So you can use just this tool of use fine adjustment. So Adobe Lightroom is going to fix that adjustment for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you want like manual changes to the photo or the mask part, you can like use this slider. Then we have a saturation, sharpness, noise, moire, and the fringe. Okay, you can use this option to saturate and over like decrease the saturation, sharpness, noise, moire, and the fringe all at the same time. So if you want to go through each and every one of these options, you can do that, because this is like very simple and very usable one, and also quite essential. So we are also done with the the part of masking objects. Now what I'm going to do is going to be using these tools which are over here. So I'm going to select it on it, and then I'm going to go to this basic option. Well, the basic option is a lot similar to the one we used in library, but here you're going to have sliders for each and every one. Thus you can like fix the numbers or fix the details of each and every one step by step, and also like bits by bits. Okay, so you can like slide on them, like go up and down, and you can see the histogram is also changing according to the edits. Okay, you can also use the vibrance and saturation over here too. Okay, that's like totally up to you right now. But now what you can see that the effect is being applied on the whole photo, because now I'm not using mask. Okay, so when you mask an object and then edit the photo, on the masked part will be, changing, or have the effect. Okay, so we are also done with this option of basic. So I'm gonna like cut it up. Now it's going to be tone curve. Just as I told you at the previous of the lesson about the tone curve, you can fix the lightings. Okay, now let's say I'm going to select on the dark parts and then increase it according to my desire. Okay, you can also drag it up and down, and you can see the dark parts are now changing. Okay, and whichever part, whichever category of data you want to change, you can like select it. You can see that this part is only the region, or this part is the darks. Okay, this is shadows, this is dark. So if you click on it and drag it, only the dark parts will change, and if you click on over here and change it, the light parts are going to change, and over here the highlights are going to change. Okay, so you can see the wavelength of it. And then you can like change it according to your desire. You can also select like specific colors, whichever one you want. If you want to change the red or the green or the blue effect of the photo, you can like do that. You can also select the brush and then do it just as I did on the first time. You can also change more by using the sliders, which are available right below the curve. Okay, so which is also quite simple and makes Adobe Lightroom to be a lot more friendly. Then you can like change the HSL. Okay, if you've seen my previous videos, you know about the HSL, where the hue, saturation, and luminance is. Okay, you can change it all just similarly, just as you do about the lightings. You can change the luminance too, which is an extra feature which it offers. Okay, then you can like adjust it according to your need, and then you will get an exact result just like you wanted. You have to like fiddle through it a bit, and then you will get everything. Okay, if you want different ones, then you can also use different ones. Then we have is color grading, one of the most important thing which most influencers, then most photographers and all of them use. Okay, if your photo or your video does not attract the viewers because of its color, then obviously not many people are going to see it. Okay, so what you're going to do is color grade the photo according to your need. You have shadows, highlights. Well, all of them are like quite similar to the ones we used on basics and all. Well, you can also change it by using the sliders too. Okay, you can use it and then get to know about how those actually work and how it actually looks like. You can go through them. Okay, after you're done, you can also select midtones such as shadows, then midtones, and then highlights, and then global, and all of those. Okay, you can also select it three-way. So when you select three-way, all three of them will be active at the same time. Okay, so if you want to use specific ones, then you can see it specifically. Okay, now as we are done, you can also use blending and balance according to your need, and you will get a result after you're done. So I'm going to do is click on this color grading. Okay, we are done with it. If you want to get more details about the photo which you are using, you can also like change it according to your need. You can also change like this, and you can see it is changing, and you are getting a closer view over here, as you can see from this photo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if you want to change the radius, you can also do that. If you want to see or like change the details, you can also do that. Well, masking, if you want to do masking, if you want to do it again, you can also do that from here. Then we have is noise reduction and also color. If you want to increase or decrease the noise, then you can like go through these tools and make them on your own. Okay, well, it might take a bit of a time, but until you get a perfect result, then you can like you can like keep it like that, or you can also like wait or save it up and then use it later on or edit it later on. That's like totally up to you. So we are done with details too. Then it's going to be lens correction. If you want to do correction on your lens, such as lens flare and lens glare and all of those, you can like do it from here. You can see of these options: remove chromatin aberration, then enable profile correction, and all of those. You can like go through them and see how it works. Then we have is transform. If you want to transform your photo into something different, such as levels, or like how it is put, like let's say vertical or auto or guided, whichever one you want, you can change the perspective of the photo according to your need, and that will be how you will be able to get your result. Okay, so that is how, or that is all that is in transform. Okay, as you can see, the photo has now taken changes. Now it looks a lot more different. Now it's going to be effect. If you want to add an effect, you can also do that, such as post, crop, vignetting. You can like change the amount according to your need, midpoint, and then roundness, and then feathers, then highlights. all according to your needs. And then if you're done, if you're satisfied with what you're doing or the results you get, then you can just press on done. Okay, but if you're not done, just keep editing it. And last one is going to be calibration. So calibration is the essential or the last step of this develop module, which helps you to calibrate the lights and the colors of a specific photo which you are working on. If you want to increase the tint of the shadows, you can do that. You can change like individual and all of the colors of specific parts or specific colors which are available in the photo. Okay, you can go through each and every one of them, such as RGB, red, green, blue, and last we have is the shadow. Okay, and if you're done with it, what you're going to do is just click on done, and all of the editing which you did is going to be done. If you don't want any of those, just click on reset and it will revert it back to its default self or how the photo was. So hope you understood everything in this lesson about the develop module, how the tools work. Okay, so thank you for watching this video again and also for staying with us.
Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In the previous lesson, we learned about the library module and develop module. Now, we are going to learn about the map module, book module, and slideshow, and so on. But first off, let's end off with the map module. You'll see that there is like really less options or really less tools in the map module, as this tool or this module will only help you to find out the metadata of specific photos or specific videos. Okay, so let's start off by adding in a photo first. Let's go to library, and then from here what I'm going to do is click on import, and I'm going to import a photo. So I'm going to do is first off select the source, click on other sources, and then from there I'm going to select the drive or the folder where I have my photos or the videos. So I'm going to select the folder, which is right this, select the folder, and you will see a couple of photos will appear up. As you can see that I have all of the photos in the specific drive. So I'm going to click on import and import all of the photos which I have over there. Now what I'm going to do is click on map. When I click on map, I'm going to select the specific type of photos. Let's say I'm going to select on this one. Now it will give me a specific type of details about the specific photo which I already have. But as the photos are like royalty free, they don't have any metadata. Okay, but let's say you are going to click a photo and then put it on the map module, and on the tools you will see it will give you all about the location, about the time, about the area, the city, states, country, region, ISO, then GPS, altitude, direction, and all of those. It will also give you title and caption if you want to add it, but you can also add it right over here if you want to. Let's say TTT, and let's say the caption is going to be going somewhere. Okay, now after you're done, just hit on enter, and you will see that the photo will have the specific type of metadata. Now let's say I'm going to select on this one and double click on it, and then select a specific place from the Google map. Okay, now let's say I'm going to zoom in, and you can like specifically see where it actually is. Now I'm going to do is zoom in a bit more, and if you want to like lock in an area, just click on this lock, and you can see markers are locked. And that is like very simple of how you'll be able to do it. You can also filter your data and filter your location however you want, and keep that to be filterized so that you will be able to find it according to the area or according to your need, however you need it to be. Okay, now, well, that is basically all you have to know about this map module. But you can also see tagged and untagged visible on map. So if you want to see the photos which are visible on the map, then select on visible on map. And if you want to see the tagged ones, you can also click the tagged ones and untagged ones. That's like totally up to you. Then you can also search on the map where you want to like tag it on. Let's say I want to search it on LAX. Now I'm going to hit on enter, and it's going to give me to LAX, okay, which is Los Angeles. Now let's say it is marked. Okay, I'm going to keep it to be marked, and after you're done, you just hit on enter. Or if you want to like put on filters, let's say I'm going to keep it to be flagged. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be flagged or no filter. Let's say I want flagged photos. As I don't have any flagged photos, so I'm going to keep it to be something like this. And after I'm done, I'm just going to click on this option of click on this none and zoom out a bit. And as this is already let's say I have it marked, now I'm like good to go. Now if you go to library and see the photos which you need, then you will be able to see, okay, let's say quick collections, which I have already over here. I can double tap on it and see whichever one I want. So we are good to go with the map module. Okay,
So the map module, what it actually does is that you can like tag in any location of the photo, or if it does have the details of the photo of where it was clicked, or which time it was clicked, on which altitude, GPS, and different POVs or different area angles and all of those, you'll be able to get it through here. Now, the next module is going to be the book module. If you've seen my previous videos, you already know what the book module does. It helps you to make a book or a photo book right through Adobe Lightroom Classic. And there are a couple of methods to do that, right? And I've also told you a brief about what Blurb Photo Book does. So in this lesson, I'm going to showing you how you'll be able to make a photo book, okay? So first off, I'm going to do is go to library again, click on library. I'm going to click on these options. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to see all the photos which I have, as I don't have any of the photos as I discarded them. So I'm going to click on this option and you will see no photos match. So I'm going to click on this, let's say filters off, and you will see only one of them has appeared up. But I'm going to do is use more photos. I'm going to click on import, select the source, other sources, and I'm going to do is, let's say, system reserved, select, and then you will see a couple of these options will appear up. I'm going to click on all photos, hit on import, or if you're done, you can you are good to go. I'm going to do is, let's say, unrated, or maybe like unflagged. Click on this option, flag photo 0. Let's say I want no edits or no, like let's say I don't want any filtered photos. So I'm going to click on this option and let's say restore default presets, or let's say filters off, and you can see whichever photo you want to use. Okay. Now, let's say on the developer module, or like let's go to the book module first, and you will see our like a preview. Okay. And if you want to like export it your book to PDF, you can do it directly from here. You can also see the covers, whichever one you want. Okay, like this. This is the back cover. This is the front cover of the book. Now you can also make blurb photo books. That is like very simple. Now, why is a blurb photo books like book is made? Obviously, if you can sell your product and you already have the experience to do that, then obviously you can use the blurb photo book. But if you don't do that, like sell your book, then I prefer you not to do that. Okay, so you can like make it if you actually want it. You can like select the size, cover, paper type, and then logo type, whichever one you want. Then you can like select the layout. Let's say I want a blurb photo book. Okay, I'm going to click on it. Now, then what you're going to do is select the size. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be large landscape. Change size and replace, and you will see this will look a bit different than the first one. And you can also set it, like this. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be over here. And I'm going to increase the size, or, decrease the size according to your desire, and you are good to go. Now, let's say the next type is going to be paper type. So first off, what you're going to do is going to be clicking on paper type and select the type of paper you want to use for the photo book you are going to export. Okay. So first off, you can like select the cover too. Let's say if you want a hardcover image wrap, or maybe hardcover dust jacket. Okay. I most of the time suggest you to use like hardcover image wrap. You can like select on this hardcover image wrap and then select the paper type. Let's say I'm going to select on standard, and then the logo page should be turned on. Okay. Which is like price on discount. Okay. But if you don't want to, just click on none, and it will the price will increase. Okay. Then the estimated price will be, according to you, how much you want to sell it from. Okay. Sell it to, or sell it on which amount. Let's say this is excluded VAT, and this is also excluded VAT, and the rest of them are included VAT. This is US, Euro, and all of those which you want to use. Okay, that's like totally up to you. I prefer keeping it on US, okay, which is like standard. Then what you're going to do is click on learn more, and you will see that it will take you directly to your web browser, and you will be able to know a lot about this, blurb photo book, how does it actually work. You can get started. You can start your project, okay, sell those, and then you can actually earn money through this, website and this software. Okay, that is how the blurb photo book works. Now, as you're done, what you're going to do is fix the layout. As you can see, the layout is something like this: large landscape, 13 into 11 inches, 33 into 28 centimeters, and 2 pages. And that 2 pages will cost around US dollar $87. Okay, that is like, the cheapest amount which you can use right now. Okay, that's like totally up to you. But obviously, just as I told you, if you only have the experience of, selling those products and selling those photos, only then you can use this, or, I would suggest you to use the blur photo book of making a photo book. Okay. So then what you're going to do is select on the preset, let's say left flank,
right blank, and one photo. So what you're going to do is select the ones which you're going to need. And if you don't want any of these, which is like pre-made, you can just click on edit auto layout page and you will be able to fix it according to your desire. Let's say you can also add in content like, paragraphs and all of those writings, see what you want to put. And when you're done with it, just click on save or update the preset and that preset will be added. And you can also save it directly from over here. Let's say create and you will see untitled preset. That one is also added. Okay. That is like very simple to do. Now, what I'm going to do is going to be a bit different. Now it's going to be the page setup of the photo book. So click on this page, then select on page number. If you want page number on the photo books, you can use it according to your desire. That is like totally doable too. Now you can select the location, then where you want it to be displayed. It's like totally up to you. If you want the location to be at the bottom corner, just click on bottom corner or the, bottom corner or the top corner, top side or side, whichever one you want. That's like totally up to you. Then we also have display left or right, whichever one you want. Okay. Then you can also select it or get a preview from over here of how you want to like make it. Okay. This is also like selecting this, the layout, which is also quite the same on page numbering and all. And you can also add in your content if you actually want to. Okay. Then after you're done, if you want to add in pages, click on add page. And if you want to add blank, just click on add blank and a blank page will be added in between the pages where it's going to be contentful. Okay, we are also done with the page section now. So I'm going to go over here and then, minimize it a bit and go to guides. So you know what guides are all about. If you want to see about the guides, just click on this, let's say page bleed. If you want page bleed, okay. If you want text safe areas, you can like select that, option and then, print it. If you want filler text, you can like click it. And if you want page grid, you will see the grids on, the pages which you are going to print or which you are going to make. Okay, which will be, a lot easier for you to put in your content before actually printing it or, exporting it as a PDF. And you can also see the guidelines by clicking on it and you will be able to get all of those attributes and all of the functionality which you're going to need to make your work a lot more easier. Okay. So as we are done with this, lesson about the book section of the guides, now let's say I'm going to click on this guides and let's go to cell. Now, if you want to like fix up the padding of the cell, you can also do that. Just click on this option and sometimes it will be grayed out. Okay. But if you have cells, okay, like specific cells which you want to add in, then let's say I'm going to click on this cells. Okay. Now I'm going to do is increase this. Let's say I'm going to click on this and increase the cells. Okay. Padding, you can see that you will be able to resize that document or resize that content according to your need or your desire. Now I'm going to keep it over here. And as you can see, I can drag it wherever I want and like keep the size, changeable. Okay, that is what padding actually does. You can also type in the number of the points which you want to use. Now you can also use photo border like color. You can change the border color. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be over here and select it and we are good to go. You will see a border of blue will be added. Okay, that is like very simple to do. You can also select the width. Let's say I'm going to increase the width to 20 pt or like decrease it. That's like totally up to you how you're going to do it. So we're going to like be done with the cell too. Now let's go to the text. As we don't have any text over here, if we did have some text over here, let's say I'm going to click on photo text and you will be able to, offset, like fix the offsets of where you want to add in the text. Okay, you can like select the offset. As you can see that it is going up and down when I, change or like drag the scroll. Okay, or drag this, slider. Align with photo, I'm going to click on align with photo and that will be directly aligned. That is like totally up to you. If you want it to be above, click on above and it will be above. If you want it over, it will be over the photo. And if you want it below, it will be below the photo. You can also add in page text if you want to. You can also use the, offset to like fix the position of where it actually is. If you want it at the bottom or the top, that's like totally up to you. Okay. You can like also number the PT or the points. Okay. So that's like totally up to you how you're going to edit it and keep your text or content to be placed or positioned. Now it's going to be the type of which type of text you actually want. If you are familiar by using, like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or Excel, you obviously change the font, style or the font face. Okay, that's like totally the same. If you want to change the font or the style, you can just select it from over here. Let's say if you want to scroll down, just click on down and it will go up and down. That's like totally up to you how you're going to do it. Then select whichever font you want and that will be directly applied. And if you want to like select it, let's say italic, bold, bold italic, black, black italic, condensed bold, all of them, that's like totally up to you how you're going to do it. Then you can also align your text wherever you want it to be, like center align, left align, and also right align, and then justify it, okay? And then let's say justify line center and all of those. Okay, we are also done with this type section, and the last is going to be background. In the background, you'll be able to apply or fix up your background. Let's say if you want apply background globally, you can select on it, and if you don't want it, just keep it to be unmarked, and that will not be applied globally. Now you can also drop your photo over here, like click on this option, and you can also click on this option, and let's say travel, wedding, whichever one you want. Let's say this is travel based, so I'm going to click on this option, and that will be directly applied. Now let's say I'm going to click on this opacity. Let's say now it's more visible, right? You can like add in graphics if you want to, but if you want it to be visible, then keep it like this. And if you want to change the color, let's say I'm going to change the color to be something like this. Okay, now it's a bit more visible, right? I'm going to click on this option and increase the size a bit more, and now it's a bit more visible. Okay, so we are good to go with all of the tools which the book section or the book module has to offer. Now, after you're done, if you want to actually make the blurb photo book, then just click on send book to blurb, and you will be able to sell your blurb photo book to those websites and actually earn from it. But if you actually want to like export it as a PDF, just click on this option, export book to PDF, and you are good to go. You can just select wherever you want your, photo book to be, saved, then click on that drive or click on that folder. And then what I'm going to do is just click on the system reserve. I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to show it to you how it actually is saved. So let's say file name GHG, save, and that will be saved. I'm going to go to that folder right now. As I'm on my folder, now I'm going to open it up, GHG and GHG cover. I'm going to click on this GHG. It's going to show me the photo and also the cover photos and all of those. And that is how the photo book will actually appear up on your website, and also if you print it up. So hope you guys like understood everything about this lesson on how you will be able to use the map module and the book module in Adobe Lightroom Classic. And as you are not that, like going to be using that for earning money and all of those, as you are here to learn, then you are good to go with what I just showed you. Okay. As you have like a lot of ideas about the map, book, library, and develop module altogether. If you already know how to use the tools, then you will obviously be able to do whatever work you want to use it for, or however you want to implement it on. Okay. So thank you for watching this video and also for staying with us. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In the previous lesson, we learned about the map module and how we will be able to make a photo book in Adobe Lightroom. In this lesson, we are going to make a slideshow by using the slideshow module in Adobe Lightroom. So what you have to do is just follow whatever I do, and then you will get a perfect result, okay? But you are also going to get the idea about how you will be able to use the tools in the slideshow module, okay? As I'm only going to show you how you will be able to use the tools and make a slideshow. That is what I'm going to show you. But if you want to like fiddle with it a bit more and get a different result, or however you want, what you desire, then what you have to do is use these options or use these tools which Adobe Lightroom has to offer. And at the end, you are going to get a perfect result of what you actually expect. Okay. Sometimes you might not actually get what you expect, but what you have to do is just, fiddle with it a bit more, tweak it a bit more, and at the end, you will get a result which you actually need. Okay. So first off, in the slideshow module, the first option or the first tool category which it has is the options. In the options, there are a couple of tools which you can use to align your photo or align your video, which you are going to use. Okay, first things first, what I'm going to do is, if you have this option of zoom to fill frame. Okay, as you can see that from here till here is the frame. You can also adjust it according to your need. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be something over here, okay? And as you like increase or decrease it, you will see the photo will increase its, the size, and decrease according to your need. Now, let's say if you want it to be more zoom, just click on zoom to fill frame, and you will see the photo will be a bit cut, but actually it will zoom according to the frame. Okay. Now you know how it actually works. As you can see, and this is the line or the indent which it never crosses. Okay, if the indent is up to here, and then you will see that it will never cross this line. But if you increase the size up to this line, and you will see that the photo is now up till its end or up till its margin. Now what we're going to talk about is the stroke border. If you want to add in stroke border, let's say I'm going to click on it, and you will see that there are no borders right beside the photo. But if you click on the stroke border, you will see that there are, outline borders outside of the photo. So that's like totally up to you. Okay, you can also change the color of the stroke by clicking on this option, and you will see that this panel will appear up, and you can select whichever photo or whichever color you want, and that color will be directly applied to that photo. Okay, you can also use it according to whichever one you need, and you can also use hex code by clicking on this option, and then type in your code. That's like very simple, right? And after you're done, what you're going to see is the perfect result. Then what I'm going to talk about is the size of the stroke. You can like increase or decrease the size of the stroke according to your need by using the slider which Adobe Lightroom has offered. You can use this option. Let's say I'm going to click on this option and increase the border, and you can see that the width is now increasing. You can also type in the quantity. Let's say if I want 30, if it actually works. As you can see that 1 to 20 is required. So it's going to be around 1 to 20. You have to fix between that. Let's say if I want 15, that will be directly applied. Now the width is now 15. Now you know how that actually works. But if I click on other option, you will see that will also be applied to different, photos. Okay. Now we know how it actually works. Now it's going to be cast shadows. If you want shadows right outside of your photo or on your photo, click on this cast option, and that like shadow option will appear up. Then you can like select the opacity. As you can see the opacity of the shadow over here. But if I decrease it, you will not be able to see it, and that is how the opacity actually works. So I most of the time try keeping it, and I preferably suggest you to keep it around 55 to 60. Okay, so that it looks a bit more professional. But if you don't want any shadows, just remove it or keep it around 16 or 17, which is a bit visible, which is around 20 to 23, which also makes the photo or the slideshow look a lot more better. Then you can also like fix the offset if you want it to be on the left or the right, or if you want it to be at the the left side of the photo. You can also do that. Then you can also fix the radius of the shadow. Okay, as you can see, when I decrease the radius, the shadow has become more obvious and has like perfect shapes. But if you don't want it to keep it like that, you can just decrease the radius, and you will see that it looks a bit more faded and looks a bit more professional. Okay, then we have is the angle at the end. You can use the radius slide bar and also use the slide bar which it has over here. Now I can use it wherever I want. If I keep it to be at the left, you can see the shadow is on the left side. If you keep it on the right, you can see the shadow will appear a bit on the right side. Okay, so that is how it actually works, and you know how it actually will appear. Then we are done with this option category in the slideshow module. Now let's go to the layout module. If you want to fix your layout just as we did on the books module, then you will also be able to see the same type of option it has to offer. If you want to do it on the left side, just click on the left, and you can see that it has gone now. But if I, drag it a bit more on the left and keep it over here, now I can see the full photo by keeping it on 0. I can use the same thing by using on the right, and the right one will like increase or decrease just as you use this option. Okay, as you can see, when I increase or decrease it, the sliders are now also changing their positions. Okay, so as you know, if you want to like unlink all, you can also keep it to be something like this, and I'm gonna do is click on this option, and you can see that they are now working individually. Okay, but if you click on link all, just as you saw, you can like see or like position them, all of them together. Okay, which is going to be a hassle sometimes, because let's say you want a couple of your data or your content to be on the left or the right side, or maybe the bottom side. But if you keep it to be linked to all, then you will not be able to do that, because it's going to change the size of the photo and also its resolution, which is going to be a hassle sometimes. So I prefer you to like delink all. Okay, click on this option so that none of them are marked. Then you can like fix it according to your desire, and you will be able to put your content wherever you want. And if you want like guides, you can also use guides, but I most of the time use the guides because it helps me to see with like how much space I have for my content. And then after you're done like positioning the content and also the lines, then you are good to go with the layout option too. Then you can also fix the aspect preview of your photo or the slideshow. You can like select this option and let's say 16:9, which is like the default screen size nowadays. But there are a couple of screens and a couple of projectors that does not support 16:9. So what you have to do is select on this option and click on 4:3. And then you will see the size will now decrease a bit. Okay. But you can see that you have the full photo over here, but it will be presentable on all of the devices and all of the screens, and also a couple of projectors. Now we are done with this layout option, so I'm going to decrease it. Now let's say we are going to go to the overlays option or the overlays category tools. Now, if you want your identity plate to appear in your slideshow, just click on this option and you can also deselect it. As you can see it right over here. You can like select it if you want to keep it, or you can like deselect it if you don't want to keep it. So I'm going to just keep it here over right now. You can also override the color or select whichever color you want to use. Just click on this option. The same panel will appear up and then you will be able to select whichever color you want according to your desire. Now you can see it like this. And you can also change or edit it like this. You can like select the font from over here. Let's say I'm going to click on, let's see, Papyrus. So I'm going to click on Papyrus and I'm going to select on bold. I'm going to click on this and select on 72. I'm going to hit on the color and keep it to be red, and I want it to be a bit darker. Click on OK and also OK, and you will see that the identity plate has now changed and looks a lot more better than the previous one. So I'm going to go to options again. I'm going to click on this option and I'm going to take it to red, and I'm going to keep it to be something like this. Okay, now it looks a lot more better. Now I'm going to do is minimize this again, and now you can also fix the opacity and also the scale of the the identity plate which you are going to use. So I'm going to keep it something like this, so it's like a bit visible. So let's say I'm going to use 21 or 20. Let's say I'm going to type in 20. If you can't like fix it directly, or if you are facing any hassle, then what you can do also is going to be rendering the behind image. If you don't select rendering behind image, then it will not render the behind image when you are printing it or exporting it. Okay, so when you are like exporting it as a video or a PDF, the behind photo or the background photo, which we also call, will not be rendered, and sometimes it gets corrupted when you are exporting or transferring the data. Okay, so I'm going to suggest you to like always render the behind image and then export the PDF. But if you want your size file to be a bit less, okay, or want to save some spaces, then I'm going to do is like deselect the render behind image, so it will save a lot of space, because the the photo which is behind you obviously contains a couple of data, which is going to cause your file size to get a lot larger. Okay, so I'm going to click on this rendered behind image right now. Now it's going to be watermark, which is also quite very useful sometimes and also essential. You already know where to find it, because if you've seen my previous videos and how to work on it, click on this option and then you will be able to edit your watermark however you want. Let's say I'm going to click on this option and you can type in your watermark. Let's say this photo is mine. Okay, I'm gonna click on this save. You can like select wherever you want it from, and then let's say I'm gonna click on save. Okay, create, and you can see that the watermark has been applied, and that helps a lot to save or like fix your data, or secure your data or secure your photo so that it does not get stolen. Okay, now it's going to be rating star. If you want to keep it rating star however you want, you can also select the color whichever one you want, then select the color and that star will be applied if you are rating your photo. If it does not have any rating in the photo, then it will not appear in your photo, even if you export your photo or the video however you want. Now you can also fix the scale of how you want to work, or like you want it to be visible. Then after you're done, what you're going to do is just go to text overlays, click on this option, and you can like see the text if you added it, and then you will be able to select the opacity of it and however you want. So as we are done with this, now let's go to backdrop. So I'm going to click on this color wash. Okay, if you click on it, and you will see your background is now a bit grayscale and also a bit gradient type. But if you click on it, you will see that the whole page or the whole background will turn into a white background, which is good for a lot of time. Okay, you can like, but I sometimes prefer it color wash. Then you can like fix the opacity of it however you want. You can also fix the angle of the gradient. Okay, see, now it's like changing. You can also use this scroll, or you can also use this knob to fix it according to your desire. And after you get your perfect result or however you want it to be, then you are good to go. If you want the background image, just click on this option. Then you will be able to add in and you will be also able to add in the opacity. Okay, then it is the intro screen. If you want intro screen, just click on this intro screen, and the intro screen will appear right like behind or right like before your video or the PDF starts. So I'm gonna click on this intro screen, so I'm gonna keep it. And if you want identity plate 2 on this one, so you can keep it, and you can change in the content too. You can also override the colors. You can also change the scale. So I'm gonna click on this option, ending screen, which is also quite the same. And if you want the slideshow to be manual or automatic, that's going to be totally up to you. If you want it to be manual, then you have to fix a lot of these options like music, playback, and all of those. You can keep it, but I'm going to suggest you to use auto. But if you want it to be a bit different according to your presentation or according to your photo or video, you can use that option. Let's say I'm going to click on this option, and you can like add in your music by clicking on this option. Okay, music, and then no music is selected, just like click on it plus, and you will see wherever you have your photo, you will be able to choose that, and that photo will be directly applied. Okay, then you will be able to fix it however you want, but I'm going to keep it on automatic because I don't have any of the photos or videos which I'm actually going to make. So you can like slide the lens to however you want, and let's say the whole slideshow or the whole video is going to be 31 seconds. You can also add crossfades however you want. Okay, that's going to be totally up to you too. Now let's say I'm going to do is pan and zoom, and let's say repeat the slideshow and random order. And you can, after you're done, just click on the quality however you want. Let's say click on standard. And after you're done, what you're going to do is click on play. Okay, it will play for a while. It will prepare your slides, slide 1, 2, 3, 4, however, like how much photo you have. And after it's done, it will give you slideshow. Let's say this is 1, and then it will take a bit of time, and then go to the next one. You will, as you can see right now, it will give a bit of crossfade, and this is the cover photo, or the like the front photo or the front page. Okay, now you can see that they are changing one by one. Okay, so as we already know how you'll be able to make a slideshow in Adobe Lightroom, what you have to do is just follow these steps by just as I did, and just fiddle with these tools, and you will get an exact result of however you want it to be. And if you wanted to save it as PDF, just click on export as PDF, then you will be able to like save it. And if you wanted to export it as video, just click on this option as exported video, and you will be able to do it. Just then save as type, which is going to be MP4. Video preset, select the type 16:9 or whichever ratio are you're going to use. Then click on save, and that will be directly saved to your PC, and then you are good to go. So hope you understood everything about this lesson in Adobe Lightroom, about the slideshow or the slideshow module, which and the tools it has to offer. And after you're done, you will get an exact result or exact slideshow which you are expecting. What you have to do is just use these tools, keep it on practice, and then you will be able to make a professional grade slideshow in Adobe Lightroom Classic. So hope you understood everything about this lesson again, and thank you for watching this video and also for staying with us. Welcome back to this lesson of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the print module and web module. Well, both of them have like different functions and different type of tools. Obviously, in the print module, you will be able to see all of the tools and all of the functionality about the print option or the print settings. Okay. And in the web module, you will be able to fix your photos, fix your videos in such a way that how you will be able to present your photo and how it will look like in a web structure. Okay. So let's start off by knowing about the tools and how the tools are, working in the print section. If the print section doesn't appear on your Adobe Lightroom Classic, what you have to do is click on this option and click on print. It will take you directly to the print module and all of the tools that are in it. First off is the category of layout style. Just as we did on slideshow, book, develop, and library, the layout style is going to help you to fix up your photo in such a way so that how you'll be able to print your photo according to its size. So first off, it's going to be the single image contact sheet, which is most of the time used. So you can use like single images on per pages. And if you want that to be, like how I just said it, to be in single pages per image, click on single image and contact sheet. But if you want like a picture package of like a couple of photos at the same time in a single, page, then select on picture package. But if you want like custom package, just click on custom package, and then you will be able to fix up your photo according to your design, and according to your desire, just however you need. Then we are done with the layout style. So I'm going to keep it on single picture this time so I can see my, single page and single picture one at a time. Okay. So this is how it will look like. Then it's going to be the image setting. So first off, I'm going to do is reduce the size. And then what you're going to do is how do you want your picture to be shown? If you want it to be zoomed to be filled, or like, rotate to fit, or like repeat one photo per page. Okay. So I'm going to do is most of the time on default, it's kept on rotate to fit. So it like fixes up your photo in such a way so that it looks a lot more professional and in a perfect way. You can also keep it zoomed to fill, which will also give you a kind of a good result. But it will, what it did is that cut off a specific part of the photo so that it, perfectly merges your photo directly to the page size. Okay. Then let's say I'm going to keep it just on rotate to fit. And this part, just as you can see, the white parts, they're going to be printed in white. Okay. Then we have is the stroke border, just as we did on the slideshow. You can keep your stroke border and you can also increase or decrease the width according to your desire and also change the color of your, stroke. Okay. Just as I did right now. Then it's going to be the layout. The layout option has a lot of tools, as you can see, which is going to be margins, page grid, cell spacing, and also cell size. First off, let's start off with the margin section. We have left and right margin, which we can do from over here. Then we have right and left margin too. And the top margin, which you can see the photo has now turned into landscape, but obviously it still looks a lot better. Okay. Then we have the bottom one, which is also like quite doable. You can all do it like individually too. Okay, just as you can see. So I'm going to keep it to be something like this, but you don't have this option of fill all or use all at the same time. So you have to fix it like individually on each size or each side. Then it's going to be the page width, which is going to be quite simple. If you want like more rows or like insert more photos in each rows, you can also do that. Let's say I'm going to keep the row to be 3 and you will be able to add in 3 photos. If you keep the row to be 5, 6, 7, or 10, or 15, then you will be able to add 15 photos in a particular page. You can also do it with the columns. And now you can see you'll be able to add a lot of photos in a specific page altogether. Okay. So row is going to increase the number of rows and column is going to increase the number of columns in a specific page. And you can insert specific pages or, specific photos and specific cells of a specific page. Okay. Now it's going to be cell spacing. We first have to do is click on this option and make some cells first, which you can see now we have like 9 cells. Then we can like fix on the cell spacing however we need. You can like fix the horizontal and also the vertical ones. Okay. And you can see how it will actually look like. So everything is like totally up to you how you'll be able to fix the layout. Then it's going to be the cell size. If you want to increase the cell size, you can also decrease it. You can also keep the width and height to be a bit different however you want. And if you want to keep it to be square, just click on keep square and all of the photos or all of the cells which are available in your, your page will be kept in square. And obviously sometimes you will get perfect sized squares. Okay. So as I'm done, I'm going to click on this option and like decrease all the cell or like keep no cells at all and keep specific type of, cells, which I'm going to use right now. So I'm going to increase all of the size, not keep square. I'm going to increase the height and I'm going to get my perfect result. So I'm going to like also, we are done with this layout. You can also select inches or however you want. You can use centimeters, millimeters, points, or picas, however you want. So I'm going to do is reduce this size too and go on to guide categories. So in the guide categories, the same type of tools and same type of markup tools appear up, which is going to be rulers, page bleed, margins and gutters, then image cells and dimension. If you want to add in dimensions, just click on dimension and the dimension will appear up in your photo. If you want to use image cell, you can also use image cell, margins and gutters, page bleed, and rulers. Okay. So that's like totally up to you how you're going to do it or work on your, Adobe Lightroom. So we are done with this. Now it's going to be the page setup, which is also quite simple and easy to use. First off is going to be the page background color. If you want your page background color to be different, or if you don't click the page background color or keep it marked, it will be on default, which is white. But if you want it to be a different color, select on this option. But first off, click on this and select on this option and you will be able to see this panel. and then select whichever color you want to use. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be something like this, or maybe like this, or maybe like this, whichever one you want. So I'm going to keep it on pink. Okay, I'm going to click it over here, and you can see that the page color has now changed. But if you deselect it, the page color will now disappear and not be applied. You can also click on this identity plate just as we did on the previous lessons on slideshow and all of those. Okay, you can just click on identity plate wherever you want. You can also do that. You can also override the color. You can click on override color and select the color, whichever one you need. Select on this panel and you will see how it will actually look like. You can cut on it and you can select whichever one or however you want it to appear. Let's say I'm going to click on no rotation and it will appear up like this. You can select the opacity however you want. You can also scale it just as you desire. You can also render the behind image and also render on every image. Okay, so I'm going to click on this option and render on every image, and you will see that the same option or the same type of edits will be applied to all of the photos. So I'm going to click on this option and you will see that it is only applied to a specific type of photo. I'm going to click on this option and you can see it is all on all of them. Okay, so I'm going to click on these options or like keep it on mark right now. Then you can do the same things just as we did on watermarking them. Okay, you can click on this option and click on page option. If you want page numbers, just click on it. You will see the page number. You can also see the page info. Okay, then you can all use crop marks. Okay, you can see from over here and all of those right in this page. Okay, you will see all of them right over here. Okay, we are done with this page section 2. Now it's the last thing, which is the print job. So it's going to like have all the tools which you need to print at the last stuff, okay, or at the last moment. So first off, you're going to select the printer, which one you have. So I'm going to click on this. If you want it to be JPEG file, just click on JPEG. But most of the time we try using the printer. So I'm going to click on printer. And then if you want draft mode printing, then you can select on draft mode printing. Or if you don't want it, just deselect it and then you are good to go. You can then select the print resolution. If you don't want, like if you want to use the default print resolution, just deselect it. But if you want the print resolution, then you will be able to change your print resolution however you desire and select on the PPI or type in the PPI. Okay, then you can like select the print sharpening too. If you want your photo or the image which you have in this your certain page which you are going to print, you can like fix the sharpening of your photo from this section too. You can click on this picture sharpening and then it will be applied. You can click it on keep it marked, and then you will be able to select whichever type of sharpening you want. You can also select the media type to be glossy or matte, however you want. Okay, you can see the difference of both of them from the preview, and then after you're done you can just click on this print. Okay, then we are going to go on the color management. Click on this color management option and you will see a couple of tools will appear up. Okay, then it's going to be profile managed by printer, but if you want like not managed by printer, just click on other and you will see all of the profiles if you have it on over here that will appear over here, such as Acer and then all of those, whichever one you have. Select the one which you want to use and then select on OK, and then you are good to go of how you'll be able to print it. Okay, then it's going to be intent, perceptual or relative. Okay, select the photo first and then you will be able to do it. Okay, managed by printer, so I'm going to click on managed by printer and keep it like this, and then what you're going to do is click on print adjustment. You can select or fix the brightness and the contrast of the photo by using this slider. So I'm going to click on brightness and then contrast to be really high, and then after you're done just click on print or printer. Then if you want to like do more page setup, click on page setup and then you will see a pop-up like this will appear up. Then select the printer or whichever type of format you want to use, or the name, whichever one you use. Click on these properties to get more information, and then you are like it will give you a status if you are ready to go, or like also give you the type and where it is saved, and also comments. And if you want to select the paper size, let's say most of the time we use A4 or legal and all of those, so I'm going to keep it on A4 because I have my page to be A4. And then select the orientation to be landscape or portrait of how you want it to be print. And after you're done, just click on OK. And then what you're going to do is just click on printer to get more printer option, which you can see right over here. If you want to click on names and all of those, click on the printer range, print range, and the number of copies or printed file and all of those. And after you're done, just click on OK and click on print. Okay, it will also show you an interface where it wants this to be saved. It will be saved as PDF. Then you will be able to save that document as a printing object or a printing file. So we are done with this section on the print module in Adobe Lightroom. The next module which we're going to show is going to be the web module. Select on this option too, just as we did on the print module, and you will see the web module will appear up. There are a lot more tools in the web module than the other ones, okay? So we are going to go through them one by one, step by step. Just as I said that there are a lot of tools, okay? So we are going to start up from the left side, okay? Which is going to be the template browser. So this template browser is going to give you a lot of presets on how you want your photo to appear in your certain website, okay? So you can select whichever type of templates you have in, Adobe Lightroom. You can also use collection and all of those. You can see you're going to get a preview of each and every one of them if you go by selecting one and one, or step by step each and every one. Okay, you can see that they are changing step by step. You can also keep stationery, taxi, and vintage newspaper. And there is also like categories such as, grid gallery templates. You can select dark, grid dark gallery, and default, light, and all of those. Okay, that's like totally up to you. Then we also have square gallery templates like light, simple, and square gallery. That's also going to be applied. Okay, you can see that whenever I apply them, they change one by one. Okay, I'm gonna click on square gallery default. This is how it actually looks like. So I'm gonna like reduce the size to, and then select on track gallery templates. It will actually look a lot more different than the other ones. You can use track gallery default. Okay, this is how it will actually look like. You are also going to get a preview from over here. And if you want to use your own templates, just click on this user templates, and your own templates would appear over here. But the thing is that you have to make your own templates so that you can use them. Okay, so we are done with this section over here on template browser. So we are going to go on the right side of the tool, where we are going to start off with the layout side. Okay, the layout side is going to contain 4 of these options, which is going to be classic gallery, grid gallery, square gallery, and track gallery. So all of them are individual and works in a different way. Okay, most of the time I suggest using the grid gallery and square gallery because those look a lot more professional than the other ones. Okay, as you can see from over here. Okay, so if you want more, just click on find more galleries online. What you have to do is stay connected to the internet, and also for staying connected or keeping your subscription so that you get most of the tools in Adobe Lightroom. Now, as we are done with this layout style, I'm going to minimize it. And you can also select the grid gallery or all of those, however you want your layout to be, from this option too. Then it's going to be the site info. If you want to add in your site info right from Adobe Lightroom, click on this option and you will be able to add that. You can like change the gallery title, change the gallery author, and also gallery author URL. Let's say the gallery title is Lightroom Gallery, and the gallery author is me, and then the gallery author URL, type in your HTTP code or your HTML and all of those, so that people, when they click on it, they will be directed directly to your photo or where you have your photo. Okay, so we are also done with the site info. Now we are going to go to the color palette, how you will be able to format your page on your website. Okay, if you want your background to be a bit different, select on this option and you will be able to select whichever color you want. And sometimes, let's say we're going to select this color, and if you want the text to be a bit different, click on this text option too. Select on this and you will be able to change the color of the text however you want. We can also do the same thing on changing the icons. So select on this panel and then select on this palette and changing the color. Okay, now we are good to go. And the last one is going to be thumbnail border. If you want to change the thumbnail border, just click on this option, as they are thumbnails on each and every one. Select on the color and you will get a perfect result. And if you want hex codes, you can also use them just as you want. So we are also done with this color palette. We are down to a couple more of tools, and after we're done, you are then going to be able to use all of the tools and how you will be able to use them in Adobe Lightroom to get a perfect result. Then it's going to be the appearance. So however you want your photo to look like, and a couple of details and a couple of information if you want to change it, and also some resolution, you are going to be able to do it from here. So first is going to be the thumbnail size. So if you want your thumbnail to be small, just click on small. And if you want it to be medium, keep it on medium. If you can also keep it on large, so that all of them are large. And when they click on it, they will take you directly to the photo or where you have your photo. Okay, so obviously you are going to use HTTP code and also HTML and also sometimes URL, okay, which are all combined and correlated. Then it's going to be the thumbnail border thickness. Select on like whichever thickness you want to use. You can also type in that. Okay, sometimes you are not going to be able to do that, but most of the times it's going to be from 1 to 5. Okay, select from 1 to 5. Then it's going to be thumbnail shadows. If you want shadows, okay, just click on them and you will get the perfect result. If you want it to be light, then keep it on light. If you want it to be dark, just keep it on dark, and you are going to get a result on some shadow, you know, a bit of shadow effect on after side of the thumbnail, and then you will get a perfect result and also a preview. Then which is going to be the pagination style. Select single page or multiple page. I'm going to keep it on single page because websites is going to be, I want my website or the first website to be on a single page. But if you want multiple pages, just click on multiple pages, and it will your website will have a couple of pages so that you can like scroll on them one by one. Okay, so what it's going to be is going to be items per page at the last thing. Okay, so how many contents are going to be available or visible or puttable in a single page. You can select the number from over here by selecting on this. It will be 1 to 30. Okay, and after it reaches the limit, there will it will go to a multiple page or the second page and then go on one by one. Then you can also use header and also not show header. Just click on show header if you want to like have header on your website, and if you click on it back again, it will appear up. Okay, then it's going to be floating header. Okay, if you want it to be floating header, okay, you can like edit it to however you want. You can also keep it over here, and when you go down, you can see it's still over there. But I'm just gonna keep it on this option because when you go down, I don't want the header to be floating on the top of your screen. But sometimes it's actually good, because if you have like multiple pages, you can go through each and every page from like seeing from any part of the page. Because if you do not have this option, you have to like go up or down at the bottom and then change the number of page. Okay, so we are done with this appearance option too. Now it's going to be the image info. If you want your image title or the caption to appear up in your photo, what you're going to do is select on this option. You can select the title, or let's say custom text. If you want to type in your text, you can also do that. You can also add caption, date, equipment, exposure, file name, sequence, and title. And if you want to edit it more, just click on this option and you will be able to edit all of the data however you want to insert. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to keep it on caption because I don't need it right now. So I'm going to keep it on caption. And then if you want different caption from over here or date, let's say I'm going to keep it on date, and the date will be applied. Then it's going to be the output settings of what type of quality you want your photo to be output. Okay, so let's say I want the quality to be 100%, so you get 100% of the result and the best quality. Okay, then you can also keep the metadata if you actually want, so that none of your data or your photo is then stolen. Okay, you can keep the copyright lost to and rights. Okay, just click on this copyright only and it will be saved. You can also add watermark and sharpening just as we did on the print section. Okay, and last thing is going to be the upload setting. Okay, you can select on custom settings or click on edit to be able to add in the server username and password, and then store password and preset, and also the whichever type of preset you want to use, and then select on the server path. After you're done, just click on OK, and then you're good to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is over here is custom settings, put in subfolder, then put in the names, let's say photos, just as it did over there, and you will be able to fix all of it. If you're done, just click on upload if you want to upload your which is the website over from here, and you can also click on this create saved web gallery. Okay, you can also do that. And if you want to export it and use it later on, or if you have idea, or if you have more if you are open to making the web gallery to be a lot more dynamic, such as editing or putting in a lot more images, so what you can do is just click on export, or you can create save web gallery and later on download it back again. And then what you're going to do is add in more photos and then upload it back again, and fixing all the infos or about all the attributes which you're going to put. Okay, so we are done with all of the tools and how those actually work in Adobe Lightroom, from the library module till the web module. Okay, so hope you understood everything about this lesson 2 in Adobe Lightroom Classic. And if you didn't understand that part, please let us know and we will guide you through the process. And thank you for staying with us again and watching this video.
Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic.
In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how you will be able to use presets and all about the presets of how you're going to use them in your photos and videos. And I'm also going to show you about some sources where you can download your photos and use them for free without having any problem. Obviously, you can use your photos which you click to, but if you want to download photos, there are a couple of sites where you can download royalty-free photos so that you can use it most of the time in your work and also from your professional POV. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to do is going to be something like, obviously, which is going to be importing your photo. So to import my photo, what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on import. And in the import section, you will see an interface like this will appear up, which is the same thing. I'm going to click on this again and other sources. And now I'm going to do is going to be go into OneDrive Personal where I have my photos. Okay, I'm going to click on this option. I'm going to select the folder and you will see the photos which I have over here will appear up if it has. Okay, then what I'm going to do is going to be importing my photo. Now the next thing what I'm going to be doing is going to be using the presets which I just told you. Okay, so let's start off by selecting a photo first, then using the presets. So let's say I'm going to use the preset on this photo. I'm going to double click on it and you can see the default photo looks like this. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit and you will see how it actually looks like. Now, if you want to use the presets, what I'm going to do is going to be going on develop module. And when I go to develop module, on the left side of the hand, you will see a preset option will appear up. There are a couple of options which you can use or which you can apply directly to your photo. So I'm going to use one of them. Okay, let's say portrait, deep skin, and all of those categories are over here. And you can see that these are the portrait deep skins. Okay, then we have this portrait medium skin, portrait light skin, and then a lot of these, let's say category of presets which you can use. So you can also go through each and every one of them one by one, step by step, to like actually get a preview of how those actually look like. So let's say as this is a portrait, so I'm going to use the category of portrait one by one. So let's start off with the deep skin first. I'm going to use this extend and you will see a preview of them when I go through like each and every of them, like dragging my mouse like right over them, and you can see how it actually looks like. Okay, I'm gonna get a preview, and if you like do not click on it, it will not be applied. So I'm gonna select on one, and let's say I'm gonna use this one, and you can see it will be directly applied and how it actually looks like. But if you want to use another one, let's say I'm gonna like minimize it, and I'm gonna use the other ones which I can use. Let's say I'm gonna select on this one which looks a bit darker, but I'm gonna use this one which is also a bit brighter and looks a bit more better than the previous one. Okay, you can also use other ones according to your desire. You can also see that there are like no colors too. There are those type of filters or presets which you can actually use. Okay, now you can like select whichever one you want. There is like a couple and like a lot of presets which you can apply. Okay, then the next thing is going to be how you'll be able to make your own preset, which is like totally different from the one which I'm doing right now. Okay, so first off, what you have to do to make your own preset is going to be making your own preset. Okay, so the first thing is going to be clicking on default, and you can use whichever one you want. Okay, let's say you can also change the lens or how it looks on different lenses too. Okay, that's like totally up to you. Now, if you want to like make your own preset, you can also click it on this snapshot and all of these options. So first off, I'm going to do is click on this, and create your preset. And you will see that an interface like this will appear up. You can select whichever one you want. Let's say if you want color grading and all of those effects. So select the effects first, then click on create. Okay, first things first, what you're going to do is going to be making your own type of, like formatting. So first off, I'm gonna go to develop, and then from the basics, I'm gonna fix some of the lighting so that I can like do it right here on my own. Let's say I want it to look like a bit like this. I'm gonna increase the or decrease the tint a bit, and then what I'm gonna do is increase the exposure or maybe decrease it a bit. Okay, let's say I'm gonna keep it something like this, and I'm gonna increase the contrast or maybe decrease the contrast so it's a bit more visible. Now I'm gonna do is increase the highlight, and the shadows should be a bit low, the white should be a bit high, black should be a bit low. Okay, as you can see from over here. Okay, you can also fix it from over here by selecting it. Okay, which is also like doing the same one as the curve. Now I'm gonna do is increase the texture a bit. Okay, so let's make it -9, and the clarity should be a bit less, which I'm doing right now. Dehaze it a bit less. Okay, let's say I'm going to dehaze it a bit more and keep the clarity to be mid-ranged. Okay, and I'm going to do is keep the saturation to be a bit more high. And after you're done with all of the effects, you can also add tone, curve, HSL, color grading, details, and all of those, lens correction. you can like use any of the tools. And after you're done, what you're going to do is just click on this add button, click on create preset, and you'll be able to make your own preset. Just click on create, and that type of preset will be applied and obviously saved. And you can see this is press like 1, and this is the one which I made right now. As you can see the difference of both of them, and this is the first one, this is the second one. As you can see that both of them has been applied and how I made it. Then you can use it whenever you want and however you want to use it. Okay, so this is how you'll be able to use the preset section in Adobe Lightroom. Then there is also an option of history of what effect or what edit you made in your photo. And then you can also see that there are a couple of these options too, which you used in the previous lesson. And you can also see a preview from over here, even if the preview is not over here, but you can like see all of the effect which you did. You can also see the amount of effect which you applied. So you are now good to go about how you will be able to use the preset in Adobe Lightroom. And there is also all of these effects which you can go through them one by one so that you can see the difference of each and every one of them. Okay, so what you have to do is just fiddle through each and every one of them to like actually get a specific type of result which you expect. Okay, so hope you like understood everything about this lesson on how you will be able to apply presets, or also known as filters, in your specific photo, and also make your own. But next thing what I'm going to do is, the last thing what I'm going to do is use the same preset on the next photo. Okay, let's say I'm going to click on this photo. Let's say I'm going to click on preset, user preset, and I'm going to do is apply the same effect which I applied on that photo. As you can see that it has made or used my own preset which I made in the previous, in the previous photo. So hope you guys like understood everything about this lesson again, and thank you for watching this video and also for staying with us. And if you feel like you made some mistakes, you have this option of previous and reset. Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson. Welcome to the lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, I'm going to showing you how you'll be able to fix the skin tone, and also to fix of let's say about masking, and also about the healing which you can do in Adobe Lightroom, or also known as removing the spots. Okay, so there are a couple of methods, and this is also like very essential for a photographer and also an editor. Okay, so first off, obviously you're gonna need to have a photo which you can obviously use those tools on. Okay, so let's say I have this photo over here. Now what I'm going to do first is going to be cropping the photo so that I can fix whatever I need on this photo. Okay, so first off, if you want to like crop your photo, just go to developer module, select on this crop option, and you will be able to crop the photo according to your need. Okay, I'm just going to select it like this. I'm going to keep it like this. Okay, I'm going to make it a bit square, which I can use. Now it looks a lot more better. Now what I'm going to do is click on done, and you can see the photo is something like this. Okay, now the next thing what I'm going to do is going to be selecting or editing a bit of this lighting. So let's say I can like increase or decrease the temperature however I want. Let's say I'm going to like exposure to be a bit less, contrast to be a bit less too, highlights to be a bit less, shadows a bit higher, whites to be less, blacks to be a better, like a bit more, texture low, clarity a bit high, and it looks a lot more better and also looks a lot more detailed. Now what I'm going to do is going to be using this tool of spot removal. Okay, but if you want to fix the tone of the skin, what you have to do is select on this tone curve and all of those, and you will also find them on the library module of quick develop, and you'll be able to fix the tone of the photo. Let's say the tone control is over here, so let's start off with the tone control first. So you have both of these options, manual and auto. You can select on auto, and you can like it will be clicked on auto, but if you don't want that, just click on Control Z, and you will see undo auto settings has been done. Now what you're going to do is click on this exposure, or whichever part you want to use. Let's say I can increase or decrease the clarity too from over here, and you can see that there will be a lot more options which you can do from over here. Highlights, shadows, whites and blacks, just as we did on that one, and also clarity and vibrance. You can go through each and every one of them, and let's say I'm gonna like increase it a bit more so it looks a lot more colorful. I'm gonna decrease the shadow so it looks a bit more better. Now I'm gonna go to develop option, and now next thing what I'm going to do is going to be the spot removal. Okay, first thing what I'm going to do is click on the spot removal. Now I'm gonna do is click on heal, and the brush size will appear over here. So I'm gonna do is click on this option, and it will take some time. Okay, it will process for a while, and you will see that it has given me a perfect result which I can use right now. So I'm going to click on this option again. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in a bit more. Let's say 66%. And you can see what I can do is going to be clicking on spot removal again. Let's say I'm going to do is like, reduce the size of this. I'm going to click on this option, and it will take some time to, actually fix or, like take some other parts as a reference and then fix your part or like fix the spot. Now I'm going to do is do the same thing again, like click on spot removal, and that will be directly applied. Okay. So I'm going to click it over here, and you can see that it is healing one by one. Now I'm going to do is increase the size a bit too. I can make it this one. Okay. Which you can see that it is increasing one by one, but what you have to do is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to click on this option, Control Z, if you want to like undo the process which you just did. Okay, undo add spot removal, which you can do. I'm going to click on this option again, and you can see that it has disappeared. So I'm going to click on this option where you want to fix your spot. Okay, and then what you have to do is wait for a while so that it is directly applied to your photo, and that is how you'll be able to do spot healing and also spot removal in Adobe Lightroom. What I'm going to do is going to be showing you more effects or more ways what you can do. So I'm going to go to another photo right now. Now what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on which part of the photo I want to fix. Okay, as you can see that this guy has a couple of scars and spots on his skin. So what I'm going to do is click on this spot removal. Let's say I'm going to select on this option, and I'm going to do is click on this option, and let's use this part. Okay, I'm going to use this part and then apply it from over here. Now I'm going to do is increase the opacity. Now you can see that there is no spot left over here, right? So that is how it actually looks like. So I'm going to click on this option and use this option of how I will be able to fix the spot removal. If you want to like fix the feather too, if you want it to be smooth or strong, you can like select that, and that option will be also applied. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to click on this option, and then I'm going to do is fix this spot too. I'm going to click on, let's say somewhere from over here. I'm going to select on this option. I'm going to take it from over here. I'm going to select on this option and select it from over here, and do the same thing to get a perfect result, what you want, like what you expect. Okay, I'm going to like use this option too. Let's say I'm going to click on this option, and that will be applied. I'm going to use this, click on this option, and you can see a lot of spots have been removed and looks a lot more better. Okay, that is how you'll be able to fix spot removal in Adobe Lightroom. Well, there are also a couple of other methods like, healing and cloning and all of those. So I most of the time prefer using heal, okay? Because when you use the clone tool, what it does is like copies exactly that part of, the cloning part and then paste it on the specific area. So let me show you, because heal, when it does is it emerges the part and also makes it look a lot more smoother. But let me show you how the clone actually works. So let's say I'm going to clone this part. Let's say I'm going to clone this part and then take it to over here. Okay, and you can see that that same area is being applied on that specific area, as you can see from over here. But when the heal, when you use it as heal, it's going to take a referred, a referred area where it will look a lot more, like immersed and a lot more natural. Okay, because when you are using like heal, okay, heal and also clone, let's say for heal, what it does is that it makes the area a lot more smoother, making the cutouts to be not that visible and actually noticeable. But what the clone does is like takes that exact area and then puts it on that spot, thus making the cutout a lot more visible. But if you use both of them at the same time, then you might get a perfect type of result, and also which will look a lot more professional. You can also use this, red eye correction tool if you have a red eye, in your photo. Let's see if any of them has a red eye. So let me go to that part, and let's say the red part is over here. So what you're going to do is click on that eye area, and that red eye will be directly fixed, and you will get a perfect type of result where you're actually getting it. So let's say I'm going to use this clone over here and make this part remove. So I'm going to do is click on clone. I'm going to click on this area. Let's say I'm going to move it for like right now. So let me just move it for right now. Let's see how it actually looks like. So I'm going to do is clone and select on this part, increase the size a bit. I'm going to select this area. Let's say I'm going to take it from over here. Okay, maybe from over here or wherever I want it from. Let's say I'm going to select on this area. so it looks a lot more, a lot more clean and a lot more better. So I'm going to use this heel right now, okay, which I'm going to do over from here. Let's say I'm going to increase the size of the brush. I'm going to use this area, and what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this part and then taking that part as, a reference, and then putting it right over there so it looks a lot more better. So I'm going to do is take that part over here like right now, and I'm going to do is take this part as a reference. Now what I'm going to do is click on this option, and what I'm going to do is zoom out. Let's say I'm going to zoom out, control and then zoom out, and use your scroll key. Now you can see that the mark has been totally removed and cannot be seen. So we can also use the same thing on over here to remove the spot. So I'm going to do is zoom in a bit more. Let's say I'm going to click on this heal tool or spot removal tool. Now I'm going to do is clone it. So I'm going to do is click on this part. Let's say first off I'm going to remove this. Next, what I'm going to do is change the brush size. I'm going to do this again. Okay, I'm going to remove it because I don't need it right now. So I'm going to do is zoom out a bit, and then I'm going to click on this part. I'm going to select on this part, and then what I'm going to do is take a side as reference. Now you can see it has given me the perfect result. Now you can see that there are literally no spots in this photos too. So that is how you'll be able to use these tools in Adobe Lightroom. Now the last tool, which is like totally essential, is going to be the masking tool. And the masking tool is like, it takes a bit of time and also a bit of process in your photo, or like a process in your CPU too. So it takes a lot of time, or maybe some time. Let's say I'm going to click on 25% so that I can see the whole photo. And I'm going to do is take the subject out of this photo and only apply effect or apply formatting on that specific area. So I'm going to click on this mask tool, which is over here, which you can also like tap on W or whichever shortcut key it is assigned to. Just drag your mouse, which is going to be Shift plus W. You will see these tools. Now what you can do is use the brush manually and select the masked area or which part you want to mask. But I'm going to suggest you to like select the subject, because Adobe Lightroom selects the subject like very simply and also detects it very fast, and also it becomes like quite accurate. Okay, so what you have to do is just wait for a while till it actually masks your photo, and then what you can also do is like copy that masked part and also apply it to some different area. But what we're gonna do over here right now is like fix up the lightings in this photo and only in the masked area, and then you can see how it looks actually different from the other parts of the photo. Now you can see that it has taken some time and masked this part where we only have our subject in this photo, as you can see from over here. Now if you apply any effect on here, you will see only the effect will be applied on this masked area, which you can see is red. Okay, which you can see it over here. Now let's say I'm going to do is decrease the exposure, increase the contrast, decrease the highlight, shadows to be a bit more higher. Now let's say the white should be a bit less, black should be a bit higher, then the texture should be a bit low, and the clarity should be, let's say I'm going to increase the clarity a bit, and I'm going to do is dehaze it a bit too. And you can also use hue and fine adjustment according to your need. And after you're done, just press on done. As you can see that there is a lot more like it looks a lot worse than it was, but you have to do is make some changes on there. What you can do is, let's say I'm going to do is increase the texture a bit more. Let's say I'm going to do is temper amount to be a bit less, contrast to be a bit less, exposure to be a bit high. And after you're done, just click on done, and you can see that only the effect has been applied on the masked area, but not on the area which was outside of the masked area. Okay, so this is how you will be able to use these 4 tools which you can see in the develop module in Adobe Lightroom. Okay, so hope you understood everything about this lesson on Adobe Lightroom. But if you want to like copy that part too, you can also do that. Just press on Ctrl+C and apply it wherever you want, and you will get an exact result. So thank you for watching this video and also for staying with us. Welcome to this lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In the previous lesson, we learned about the tools of develop module and how those actually work, such as crop, mask, remove spots, and also red eye correction, and also a couple of basics option which develop module has to offer in Adobe Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, what we're going to do is going to be using tone curve, HSL, color grading, details, and all of those, so that we get a perfect type and also a professional type of effect and also a professional type of photo which you can use or generate in Adobe Lightroom Classic. So as we already know about the basics option and how those tools actually work, and also some black and whites too, okay, so we are going to go to the tone curve. Just as I told you in the beginning of this lesson or beginning of this course about how the tone curves actually work, so I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how you can use them right now. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is use this brush, or which we call parametric curve, which is this line. Okay, first off, what we have known about is the parts such as shadows, darks, lights, then highlights, and then at the end is just it. Okay, which you can apply also by using these sliders. But first off, I'm going to do is select on this one, edit point curve. Okay, you can select whichever curve you want to use. Let's say I want to use this curve from over here. As you can see that it is changing one by one, which is also the shadow or the dark area of, the photo. So this part, as this is the dark area of the photo, so what we're going to do is, let's say I'm going to increase the size from over here, and as you can see that the darker part is now getting more brighter, just as we saw from that part. So as we're done, I'm going to click on it again and go to parametric. From here, as you can see that this part was shadow, okay, and also dark, a couple of dark and a bit of shadow. So as you can also like increase from over here, which you can see the slider is now increasing. Now what you can do is, let's say I'm gonna do on the green part right now, so I want the green part from over here and decrease it. As you can see, the tint is now decreasing, or changing step by step. So let's say as you take it up, it will become more greener, and if you take it down, it will become more pinker. As you can see from both of these sides, as this is greener and this is more pink. So I'm going to keep it on pink now. I'm going to go to red now. I'm going to fix the red part. This will be a bit greenish, and this part will be a bit more red. So I'm going to select on this part, which is going to be the shadow. So I'm going to do is increase this part or decrease this part just as I desire. As you can see now, it has become more purple, and the photo has become purple, including the dress. So now we have a new result. Now let's go to blue, which is the last one. So this part will be a bit yellow greenish, and this part will be actually blue. Okay, so I'm going to select on the photo or keep the photo where I can see it. So I'm going to click on this part and see it actually which I desire. You can also fix it from over here. And I'm going to select on this part. Let's say I want to fix the light parts. Okay, so I'm going to do is click it on this part. I'm going to increase or decrease it according to my desire, and I'm going to the dark parts. And now as you can see that it looks a lot more better than how it actually was. And also as the colors have changed, and also it has done some vignetting, now it looks a lot more different than how it actually was. So after you're done, what you can do is also input the amount and also output the amount according to your need, if you want to not use the slider and also the curve. So that's totally up to you how you're gonna do it. So the next thing what we have to learn about is the point curve. If you want it to be linear, the medium contrast or strong contrast, that's going to be totally up to you. And after you're done, you can also save the preset and use it later on. First off, I'm going to do is click it on linear, and it will be linear. But what I'm going to do is keep it on, however it was. So I'm going to keep it to be custom, just as I used. So we are done with this tone curve of how you'll be able to do it. After your tone curve is done, what you have to do is the HSL, or also known as the hue, saturation, and luminance. So let me hue, saturation, and luminance. So first off, you have to select the color. Okay, you can use specific color and also sometimes use RGB at the same time, which is going to be a lot more different. So if you want to increase or decrease the hue, let's say I want the hue to be decreased. I want the saturation to be a bit higher, which is on the red parts, as we don't see any red parts over here. Luminance to be a bit less, but as you can see, the photo is now changing. So as the photo has more of an aqua blue and purple, so I'm going to select on this purple. Now I want to select on the purple and decrease it. Now as you can see that there is some changes made on this photo. Okay, so I'm going to do saturation to be a bit less or high according to your need. That's totally up to you. You can also use keyword plus and minus to get a result. As you can see that that's changing this part, the cloth. Okay, now what I'm going to do is change the hue of magenta and also increase the saturation and also the luminance. Okay, now as you can see, it looks a lot more darker. Now I'm going to do is select on this part and get a preview, which you can see that the photo looks really different than how it actually was. Okay, so I'm going to do is keep it like this, and if you want to compare it, you can see reset and also all of those, so that you can actually see how it actually was. But it looks a lot more better than how it was, right? You can also use specific type of colors if you want to use, okay, which will give you specific type of sliders which you have to use. After you're done with HSL, you have to like minimize it, and next what you have to do is go to color grading. Well, color grading is like one of the most important feature and one of the most important thing which we have to do most of the time these days, because if your photo doesn't have color grading, obviously it's not going to attract viewers, and obviously people are not going to give that much attention to your photo or your video. Okay, so first things first, what you have is midtones, which is three-way, which you can see over from here. But if you want to like do it step by step, one by one, you can select on these options. Let's say it's going to be the first one, then the midtones, then the last one is highlights. Then we also have the global, okay, which is like the total effect. So first off, I'm gonna click on this option and fix it one by one. So first off, I'm gonna do is fix on this option, which is the midtones, or also the shadows. So first, if I want to fix on the like this one, which is like the midtone, so I'm going to fix on this one. Let's say I'm going to keep it on over here, and it looks a lot more brighter. Okay, so I'm going to keep it a bit more brighter, and the skin tone too, so it looks a lot more better. Now let's say you can also fix the the amount by fixing or using this like slider. Let's say I'm going to keep it over here, and it looks a lot more better, right? You can see the skin tone is also good, and also the color of the background and also the jacket looks a lot more better. Now we are going to go and fix the shadows. So I'm going to do is fix the shadows. Let's say I'm going to keep on fixing the shadows to be a bit blue, but if you want it to be a bit different, so I'm going to keep it over here, and now you can see it has turned back into pink. So I'm going to do is keep it to be somewhere around here so that it looks a lot more purple, and also a bit more different type of gradient, which is using such as blue and also black and also purple and magenta. Okay, we are also done with that. If you want to fix the hue and like the saturation and however you want it to appear, you can also use the slider, okay, which it appears. Now it's going to be the last one, which is the highlight of the photo. So as you can see that there are a couple of highlights, so I'm going to fix on this part too. So I'm going to click on this part, and you can see it looks a lot natural. So I'm going to do is decrease this effect or increase the effect according to my need, and we are good to go. If you want to like fix the bleeding and also the balance, you can also use and fiddle with those tools so that you might get a different type of effect. So I'm going to do is do the bleeding a bit more or less. Let's say I'm going to bleed it to be high, and you can see that the shadow is now traveling from one place to another, and also a bit more different. It looks a lot more brighter, but this looks a lot more brighter, but at the same time it is like less. Okay, so I'm gonna do is keep it balanced. So I'm gonna do is keep it certainly at like a bit less than the default, and you can also maintain the balance of this. You can see as it will gain a lot more brighter, and I'm gonna keep it somewhere around 23 to 29 and 30, so I get a perfect result. So after you're done with color grading, as you can see that it looks a lot more better than how it actually was in the previous photo, or how it was on default. So I'm gonna minimize this part too, and if you want to fix the global at the end, you can also do that according to your desire. Let's say I'm gonna keep it over here and fix the global, and it will change the whole photo of how it actually looks like. Okay, but I'm gonna keep it on over here and keep it somewhere around the purple area so it looks how I just made it. Okay, so after you're done, what you're going to do is just zoom out a bit more. Let's say I'm going to keep it on 6, or maybe let's say 23. You can also type in your data or type in the value how you want to see it, so then it will be directly applied and you will be able to see it right through the photo. Now you can see that I have a better, the photo looks a lot more better than how it actually was. Okay, now it looks a lot more colorful, and also a lot more, has a lot more details. Then after you're done, what we're going to do is going to be fixing the details. As you can see that there are a couple of grains which are visible in this photo. So if you want to do that, what you're going to do is going to be going into details. In the details, you'll find out a lot of these options which you can use. So as you can see, the sharpening amount, so you can increase the sharpening amount in the photo, and you can also decrease it. So I'm going to keep the sharpening to be a bit less, okay, something around 1 to 10, so that it doesn't make it too sharpened, because it will increase the details a lot more and the grains will be a lot more visible. Okay, then we're going to fix the radius, which is going to be, let's say I'm going to keep it to be somewhere around 15 or like 1.5. Yes, 1.5, and it looks a lot more better, but with a lot of grains. Okay, so I'm going to do is click on the details and decrease the details a bit so it looks a lot more better. And if you want to mask your photo, you can also mask your photo. As you can see that there are a couple of effects that are applied right now, so I'm going to decrease it so I get it. Okay, now I'm going to fix the luminance of the grains which is visible. Now as you can see, when I increase this luminance, the grains are now disappearing one by one, but yet it's not so perfect. but it's because it's getting like a lot more smoother. So what I'm going to do is going to be keep the luminance somewhere around the middle, 54 to 60. Okay, or like 50 to 60, so if you get a perfect type of result. You can also decrease the details so that you can get more smoother type of photo, but filled with details and also that correct amount of sharpness. Then what you're going to do is fixing the contrast according to your need. The color should be according to your need too. You don't want it to pop up like a bit too much. You can also fix the details and also the smoothness according to your desire. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here, and we are good to go about the details too, because we are done with fixing, you know, the noise which we had in our photo, which we did. So you can go to history and see how those actually look like previous, and then you can compare it according to your need. You can see how it actually looked like from the preview, okay, which was a lot more grainy than how we can see on the preview and navigator, but now it looks a lot more smoother. Okay, next one is going to be the lens correction, which is, you know, sometimes useful, but sometimes it's not, because if you have, you know, a really good lens and also there's like no lens problem in it, then you don't have to go through this tool. But if you do have, you can use remove chromatic aberration, like, you know, aberration, and also enable like profile correction and all of those, and make changes according to your desire. So I'm going to skip this part because that part is like not that important unless you have some lens issues going on your lens. Next one is going to be the transform. So if you want to like go to transform, you will see that there are a lot of options which you can do to like fix the aspect and fix the ratio and also fix the POV of the photo. If you want it to be auto, just click on auto. If you want it to be guided, then fix on guided, and you can like fix it vertically and all of those according to your need. Let's say I'm going to keep it somewhere around here so it looks a lot more better. So I'm going to click on this option, transfer, and you can see that it looks a lot more better. But if you don't like it, what you're going to do is just click on this option, and what you're going to do is just go to transform, click on auto, so it looks a lot more better. Okay, but click on guided, and what I'm going to do is click on this option and keep it to be perfect size according to your page and how you desire. Okay, you can also level them according to your need. Let's say I'm going to be the aspect is going to be something like this, or maybe something like this. You can stretch it according to your need. But what we're going to do is going to be keeping it on, let's say 14, so it looks a lot more lengthwise, you know, a lot more larger, and also height. So you can also increase the scale, which you can increase and decrease according to desire, which looks a lot more better right now. And as it's now a lot more, you know, like portrait mode and a lot more closer, so it looks a lot more better as this is a portrait. Then you can also fix the X offset and Y offset according to your desire. Let's say if you want to keep it to be left or right, you can keep it. You can also fix the Y offset, okay, like up and down and all of those. Okay, so I'm going to keep it to be somewhere around over here. Now it looks a lot more perfect. So as you're done, what you're going to do is constrain crop, and then click on transform, and then you are good to go. And you can see how it actually looks, which looks a lot more professional and a lot more magazine type of photo. That is how you'll be able to do it. Next one is going to be the effect. Okay, so in the effect, there are also quite a lot of these options which you can do, and quite a lot of formatting which you can do from Adobe Lightroom. So first off, it's going to be the post crop vignetting, which applies the dark area on the corners of the photo, but as we crop that part. So first off, let's say I don't want it, so I'm going to click on the amount to be, you can see that this is the vignetting. So I don't want any vignetting, but you can also keep the vignetting to be a bit so that it looks a lot more better. And you know, sometimes some people do like the vignetting when it's like at the corner. Then it's going to be the midpoint, so you can also fix the midpoints according to your need, so that you get, you know, a radial type of, you know, brightness, like, you know, adjustment. Then it's going to be the roundness of the vignetting. So let me like you know, reduce this, and you will see that the vignetting. And then when you like fix the midpoints and all of those, you can see how it actually looks like. Okay, so I'm going to keep it over here, and also the roundness of the vignetting you can see from over here. Okay, so that is how it actually looks like. So I'm going to keep it on over here, and midpoint should be somewhere around this part, and the amount should be somewhere around this part. Okay, which like a lot less of vignetting, but it must look a lot more, you know, professional, and also a lot more, you know, natural, which looks kind of like this. But if you want to reduce it or increase it, that's like totally up to you. Then you can like make it a lot more smoother too, which you can see from over here. But yet it's like a lot more visible because those are getting a lot more. But if you want to keep it to be like, you know, getting faded and also getting immersed with the photo, so you have to like increase it so it becomes a lot more smoother and not that noticeable to see. Then you can also fix the highlights according to your desire. Use the slider to get a perfect type of result. and then you are good to go. Then the next one is going to be the grains of the vignetting. You can also increase the amount of vignetting on the, like the grains on the vignetting, which you can see it has been a lot more, grainier. So I'm going to do is decrease the amount of grain to be something like this. And you can also fix the size of the grain according to your desire, because some people do like how it actually looks like when there is grain in the photo, because sometimes it looks a lot more aesthetic and a lot more better. Okay, you can also fix the roughness of the photo and also make it a bit more smoother according to your desire. So we are also done with this effect option. Then the last option, or the last category of tools which appears, is going to be the calibration of the photo. So we are going to give you a small brief about how the calibration actually works in Adobe Lightroom. So calibration is a section in Adobe Lightroom that features 7 sliders. At the top, you'll find one called shadows, which you can see from over here. Then red primary, green primary, blue primary, and all of those options which you can use. Okay, depending on the preferences below that, you'll notice another 6 sliders. Okay, so there are a couple of these options which you can actually do, and this calibration option, which is like the last step of getting your perfect result from the develop module. And also I'm going to give you an addition of, you will be able to save that preset too and the specific effect. Okay, so first off, you can fix the shadow. You can see, just as we did the curve, it's going to be greener, and if you increase it, it's going to be a lot more pinker. Okay, so I'm going to keep it in the middle. And let's say you can use 5 version or 4.3 version. Let's say I'm going to use 3 version. Let's say the red hue should be, a bit less or increased, whichever one you want. But as you can see that it looks a lot more better than on the 5 version. Okay, then you can like fix the green one too, like decrease or increase it. Now you can see it looks a lot more darker when you decrease it. Okay, then you can also fix the saturation of that color. If you increase it, it will become a lot more brighter, but also keep the effect of being the dark in color. Then it's going to be blue primary, so I'm going to decrease the blue primary. As you can see, it is not looking better, so I'm going to increase the blue primary a bit. Okay, so you can also fix the saturation of that color, and if you decrease it, you will see that there is no blue. So I'm going to keep it to be a bit above the default self. Okay, let's say -9 or maybe +18, whichever one you want. Just make sure that your photo doesn't look artificial. It needs to be, a bit natural, so that it looks a lot more professional and also, professional grade. Okay, after you're done, you are done with everything in the develop module tool and how you'll be able to use that to get a professional type of portrait photo in Adobe Lightroom. Not just portrait photo, but sometimes also a lot different type of photo category which you want to use, and also people actually buy it, and people will actually give you a lot more attention if you do these stuff, such as color grading and fixing those details, and also fixing the lighting system and all of those. Okay, sometimes background editing is also that useful. So obviously the tools which are in the develop module and also library module are like very important, and photo importing and also like photo formatting. Okay, and after you're done, what you can also do is like go to presets and then make that preset or save that preset, so that you can use that preset later on when you want to use it. So let's say I'm going to do is click on create preset, and you can see all of them has been applied. So I'm going to use transform option 2, process, and all of those. Click on create, and that preset will be directly saved in your Adobe Lightroom. It will take a bit of a while, but you can see the preset 2 has been made. Let's see the other preset. Okay, so let's go to first one. Okay, which was the one which I made in the previous lesson. This is the second one, which is a bit different from the next one, and the last one which I made right now. But if I like reset all, so let's say user preset or like no preset at all, so I'm going to use other presets so I can get a perfect type of result or different type of result. So I'm going to click on reset. Okay, so as all of them are resetted, so which you can see this is the default photo, but when I use this option, you can see that it looks a lot more different than how it actually was. So I'm going to click on 12. I'm going to click on this, reset, and it will take a while, as this is the default photo and this is the photo which I edited and looks a lot more better in a couple of categories. Okay, so hope you understood everything about this lesson on usage of the develop module tool, except for the 4 essential tool which I showed you in the previous lesson. So thank you for watching this video and also for staying with us, and hope you understood everything. And if you feel like you didn't understand a part, please let us know and we will guide you through the process of every aspect. Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Lightroom Classic. In this lesson, we are going to learn about these tabs which are in Adobe Lightroom Classic, or Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. And at the end of this lesson, I'm also going to show you how you are going to get the end result directly exported to your PC. So let's start off without any further ado. So in the first one we have is the file tab or the file section. Okay, in the file section there are a couple of these options. We are going to go through them and how those actually work. Okay, first off is going to be the new catalog. If you want a new catalog or a new, where you want to save it, or you want to open up a new Lightroom page, or something like applying, or it's a lot similar like opening up a new document on all of those, so that you can work from the first, okay, from scratch. Then you have to like click on it, and you can also press Ctrl+N to make that. Okay, you can also open the catalog if you want to open it. You can also open recent catalogs if you have it saved. Let's say I want to keep or save this catalog. So what you have to do is click on this option, then you have to save it. Okay, save to quick collection and all of those. Okay, but you have to export it first. But as that is the last part of this video, so I'm going to show you all of these tools on how those actually work, about the functionality. Then it's going to be optimize the catalog. If you want to optimize the catalog, as you will see, an interface like this will appear up. Has been running slow, optimizing may improve the performance. What you have to do is click on optimize. It will relaunch this, catalog in Adobe Lightroom. It will close and open up again, which is a lot like restarting Adobe Lightroom, and it will optimize that file so that you don't face any problems such as lags and all of those. Okay, so optimize it and you are good to go. It will open up in a while, and then you will see that it will work a lot more smoother than how it was working, like how you were working back then. Now the next one is going to be importing photos and videos. We already know how to import photos from Adobe Lightroom to, from your PC to Adobe Lightroom. Okay, so if you want to do that, just click on this photo and video. You will see the interface will appear up, and then what you have to do is you can also select the source from over here, but you can also select the source from over here, which we did most of the times by clicking on other sources, and then after you're done, just clicking on import. And that is how it actually works. And if you want to like cut through it, just click on cancel, and that interface will be removed. So the next one is going to be a bit different. Okay, so here we have is export and all of those. We are going to skip that right now. If you want to like email your photo or video from Adobe Lightroom, what you have to do is just click on email photo, and then it will email the photo or video directly to wherever or whomever you want to send it to. And that is the functionality of newer version of Adobe Lightroom. But in the previous versions, you will see that this option is not appearing up or is not available. So you have to keep in mind to use the newest version of Adobe Lightroom, so that you don't like fall back on the tools and also not be able to like, use all the tools and the full functionality of Adobe Lightroom. And another thing you have to keep in mind that to stay subscribed to your plan and also your subscription, so that you can use all of the capability and all of the tools in Adobe Lightroom. Then it's going to be plugin manager and all of those. If you want to like add in plugins such as, like add-ins or extensions and all of those, what you have to do is plugin extras and plugin manager and all of those. You will see an interface like this will appear up. Then what you have to do is, let's say Facebook, Flickr, and all of those, what you have to do is like apply that plugin. You have to download your plugin from online and all of those. You can also share it with a friend, and then after you're done, just click on add, and that will be added directly to Adobe Lightroom. And then you don't have to like go out of Adobe Lightroom to use that functionality, such as Facebook, Adobe Stock, Flickr, and Nikon Tether plugin and all of those. Okay, so after you're done, just click on done, and then you are done with this one too. Then it's going to be show quick collection, save quick collection, and clear quick collection. Well, this is the similar like on this option, which is over here, collection option, okay, which is smart collection and all of those. You can also do that from over here, as I have newer photos over here. So what I'm going to do is show quick collection. We have this photos over here, which we can use. But if you don't want that, what you have to do is go to files, and then what I'm going to do is save quick collection and clear. Okay, return to previous content. I'm going to like reverse it back to the previous content which I have from over here. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this too. So I'm going to do is save quick collection, and all of them will be saved. Let's say this one is second one. Okay, second photos. Hit on save. And this is also a collection now, which is second photos. And the past month we've used this couple of photos, okay, which you've seen in the previous videos. But right now we only need the second photos right now, so I'm going to click on the second photos and use these options or use these photos right now only, okay, which is like you know, very doable and easy to do. So next I'm going to do is keep these photos over here. Now I'm going to go to files, and then which is going to be clear quick collection. If you don't want any of the collection of the photo to be saved or used anymore, what you have to do is just, you know, clear that collection, and that collection will be removed from Adobe Lightroom. Then you have to import that photo again so that you will be able to use that. Okay, another like advantage of using Adobe Lightroom is that when you import a photo, like let's say a couple of days later or in the month or the running month, it will still be saved on Adobe Lightroom as a catalog. So you don't have to worry about losing that data. Well, you might lose your data because if you don't save it, but if you don't if you cut it or cut out of Adobe Lightroom, you know, quit and all of those, but yet that progress and that photo will be saved and automatically be saved to Adobe Lightroom. So you don't have to worry about losing any of your data from Adobe Lightroom. Then the next option is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to do is go to file, and then we have library filters. If you want to filter your photos, so I'm going to show you to you right now too. What you have to do is first off go over here. Then what you're going to do is click on this option. Let's say click on add photo to collection. Now what we're going to do is click on this option and then set flag or set rating, set color label, and all of those, as this is how you'll be able to filter your photo. So let's say I'm going to filter my photos, so I'm going to set it as flag. Okay, this is the flagged photo. Now I'm going to set the rating to 2-star or 3-star. Let's say the 3-star is over here, and I'm going to do is set the color label to blue. Okay, now it is a blue colored label. Now I'm going to go to attribute. You can see that this is a blue 3-star photo and also a flagged one. So I'm going to click on blue. You can see only the blue photo or the filtered photo, which is termed to be as blue label, is only appearing up. So I'm going to click on blue again, so I don't have any blue, but I want only the flagged ones. As you can see, this is only the flagged one, and this is how it will actually look like and how you'll be able to filter your photo. You can also find your data or the specific type of photos or videos by selecting on the stars or how it is rated to. As this is 2 stars or 3 stars, I'm going to click on 1 star. There's like no 1 star, but 1 star and higher. This is 2 star and this is 3 star. Okay, which is like over here. As there is no 5-star photo, so I'm going to click on 3-star, and only the 3-star photo has appeared up. Okay, there's also an option of higher and equal, so I'm going to do is rate is equal to. So I'm going to click on 1. You can see that there is no photo rated to 1 or 2-star, but if when I click on 3, you can see it will only appear the 3-star photo. So you have to fix the rating to from over here is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to, and we have its rating or equal to. Okay, so most of the time I keep it to be rating equal to, so that you get an exact type of result or exact type of photos or exact type of filtered photos which you want to use on Adobe Lightroom. Okay, we can also do filtering, filter 3 or 4 more photos which you're gonna need. So I'm gonna do is click on this option. I'm gonna need no star right now and keep all of them right over here, and also keep them to be over here. As we can see now, there's 2 stars and all of those, as we can see it from over here. So as there are in the second photo there are 3 photos which you can use, but as we did this, it's not showing us that photo right now. Okay, I'm gonna click on this option, and you can set any star which you want, and also find it according to your desire. Okay, so we are good to go about this option to how you'll be able to filter your photo. Okay, so the next thing is going to be metadata, which we also showed you in the previous lesson or previous course. As you can see, the attributes are the ratings, and also the filters will also categorize these options, okay, these boxes. Okay, as you can see, 2 are labeled blue and no label, and all of those unknown and default, all of those. Okay, so you'll be able to use this filter or attribute option to actually rate your photo, and exactly also get your metadata according to that filter. Okay, then the next one is going to be the edit option or the edit tab. In the edit tab, we have a lot of functionality tools such as undo, redo, control Z and Y, then cut, copy, paste, which we already know about, then selecting all, and then select none, invert selection. You can like select all of the photo all together, right, like this. You can also click on this option and select none, and all of them will be not selected. You can also invert the selection. Okay, let's say I'm going to invert selection, and you can see all of them are now selected. Such as, let's say I'm going to click on this option, and I'm going to do select this option. Let's say I'm going to select this and this. Okay, let's say I'm going to select this and this. Okay, let's say I'm going to select on this. I'm going to click on this edit, and you will see invert option selection. You can see both of them are selected, so I can like delete two of these or like delete one of these. Okay, so you can like select a specific part, and the ones which you don't want, you can like delete them, and that is why inverting option is available in Adobe Lightroom. Then you can also select only an active photo, which is like selecting the active photo, which is like rated and also filtered. Okay, that is why it is selecting it. You can also deselect it and do a lot of stuff with those photos. I'm gonna click on edit again. I'm gonna click on edit, and you can see that there are a couple of these options too, such as preference, catalog, and all of those. You can also select by flags and all of those, which is the same as rating and all of those. Okay, you can like set preferences, catalog setting, identity plate setup, and edit watermarks, which we did. Most of the stuff we did on all of the tools which we saw in this modules which Adobe Lightroom has to offer. Okay, so we are also done with this edit. Then is the library. You can open up new collection and set up new collection and all of those through this option. Then you can also validate DNG, which is like most important from over here. You can filter your data. You can also find your data or find your photo or video from the section of library. Okay, then we have this photo section. In the photo section, you can like edit or you can also filter your data from over here and also set keywords. You can also go to develop settings. You can see reset, update to current process version. What it does is like converts your photo in such a way so that Adobe Lightroom can access it and also work with it. Okay, you can like remove and delete each and every one of those by going through this option. Then we have this metadata. If you want to fix your metadata and details of the photo and video which you have in Adobe Lightroom, what you have to do is go through this option and you will get a perfect result. Then we have is the view, how you want your interface to look like. You can go through that hide toolbar, toggle, and all of those. You can just select and see how it actually works. You can see loop and all of those. So I don't want loop. I'm going to click on this option. You can see this is loop. Okay, but I want 3 of them all together so that I can get a perfect view. Then you can see all of them options like from over here, and also the shortcut key assigned to each and every actions. Okay, then we have is windows and all of those. You can like select and do all of those work all together. And at last we have is help. Okay, if you can't do or like find a specific tool, what you have to do is click on classic help F1, and then it will show you and also some tutorials which you're going to need. Okay, and then after you're done with your photos, what you can do is obviously exporting your photos, because as we are done with all of the tools which we have at the top of Adobe Lightroom Classic. So if you want to export your photo, let's say I'm going to export this photo. Okay, or let's say on the second photo what we have, I'm going to like increase this and see how it actually looks like. Or the past, I'm going to click on this as I edited that photo in the previous lesson. So I'm going to do is export that photo. Click on export, you will see an interface like this will appear up. And what you're going to do, export it wherever you want. Let's say I'm in the hard drive, select on desktop or wherever you want. Let's say I'm going to click on this options, use like my picture folder. Let's say let's put in subfolder and then add this to catalog if you want to save it as a catalog so you can edit it later on. You can also name the file, rename file to be, let's say, file name. That's like totally good. Extension to be lowercase or uppercase, whichever one you want. This is how it will look like, pixel, Cena, and all of those. Okay, then you can do whatever you want with the resolution and all. Let's say per pixel per inch and all of those. Remove person info and all of those. Write keywords as Lightroom hierarchy. And if you want to add watermark, you can also do that. Let's say smile or like simple copyright watermarking, and after export, do nothing. After you're done, just click on export. It will take a bit of a while. As you can see from this bar, it will like take some time to export your photo, and it will be done as you're done with this photo. So let's go to the file where we exported our photo, or a folder where we exported our photo. As you can see that my photo is saved over here. So I'm going to click on it, and you can see that it looks a lot more better even when I export that photo. Okay. So this is how you'll be able to, automate and use Adobe Lightroom and also get a result and also export it for later use and also for sharing, maybe even for business and all of those. So hope you guys understood everything about this lesson and everything about this course on the basics of Adobe Lightroom Classic. And also thank you for staying with us and watching it till the end. If you think we made a mistake or like you didn't understand a couple of parts, please let us know and we will fix it for you and also guide you through the process. So thank you for watching this video again and also for staying with us.